Hola.
Hola.
And all of those lovely, lovely things. So we're back, guys. It's the creepy season again.
Creepy season. We love it.
Spooky.
Extremely spooky. And I didn't know if I would be doing another creepy thing this season. But then we were talking about what book were we talking about, guys?
Don't let me insert one here.
But
Your finger card will be full.
I brought it on myself that time. Nope, take it. Go ahead.
My soul
Go
to
ahead.
keep. It was my soul to keep.
No, it wasn't my soul to keep.
No,
I don't remember what we were talking about.
No, I want to say it was either one of N.K. Jemisin's books or whatever you discussed after that, after Broken Earth trilogy. But you had brought up a comparison to Dream Warriors.
The City We Became. That's one of the ones we did.
Wait, what did I you did that way. You did that way.
Yeah, back. Gilded Ones was after. I think Gilded Ones was the first
Gilded
one
Ones after Broken. Oh yeah, it was. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay.
But we were supposed to do My Soul to Keep, and then we switched it.
Yeah. And now I found another one I'm thinking about for spooky season. The Witching Hour, I think it's called, or something like that. I was like, ooh, witches.
I was gonna say, you had me at witches. That sounds good. But no, it was something that Nikki had mentioned, a comparison when we were talking, and she brought up Dream Warriors 3, and that reminded me, Dream Warriors is actually my favorite movie in the Freddy franchise. It's part of the what I call the Nancy saga.
Right.
She's the only one that's in like 3 of the movies altogether. And I really liked her character. She was one of my faves of the final girls, as they say.
Right.
This was my first time seeing Dream Warriors.
What?
Yeah, you said you've only ever watched part 1, right?
I've watched like the newer ones, which I wasn't really that into, and
they're
watched
not good.
Yeah, don't ever go and watch that one.
Yeah, no, I was like not into those. I watched them a few years back, and I wasn't into them. But the first one is just like the one I always go back to, and I never followed it. Yeah, I love the first one.
I think out of the new ones, the only one that I accept is the New Nightmare, because I like
Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
Yeah, I like the breaking of the fourth wall and having them like it's coming into that I thought was really cool.
And that's the finale of the Nancy saga for me. So it's part 1, part 3, and then Wes Craven's New Nightmare for me that make up the Nancy trilogy. So Freddy, I don't know, when it comes to the creepy slasher movies and all that, they usually do bother me, but something about Chucky and Freddy and just their antics, it makes me giggle. You know, every now and then, Freddy is creepy. You know, I might have a bad dream or two later tonight, but he makes me laugh with a lot of the things that he says.
Yeah.
Come get him, bitch.
The petty is so strong.
Oh yeah.
The petty is so strong.
I think
and I love it.
He uses bitch so much throughout the series, but it's just always the way that he says it. It's just like it always made me laugh. I was never offended. I was like, oh, he kind of means it. but I like it because it's creepy. I don't know. I think the first Freddy movie I ever saw was at a babysitter's house, and I think it might have been the 5th one, maybe. I remember
Dream Master.
I can't remember which that one is.
I think that's the one with the dream child.
Yeah. So I think I saw that one, and then I saw Dream Warriors, and I was like, oh my god, I love this. But you know, it's like one of those spooky things because I've always had vivid dreams, and when you're in a Caribbean family, dreams are a big deal. So it was I think the most terrifying thing about Freddy is that you're not safe when you're sleeping.
Bro, because
absolutely,
how do you
that's
protect
the scariest
yourself?
thing.
That's
and it's just like waking up with a dream within the dream, like, oh, I'm awake and I'm sad, and then it's like, no, God, they're the the dream within the dream is scary.
Yeah. Okay. So I was wondering where to start today. Let's start there. What's like a really weird dream thing you've experienced? If you're someone that you wouldn't mind sharing.
Oh man, I have dreams within dreams constantly. And
okay, I'm not the only one. Cool, I feel better now.
Yeah, and I can read in my dreams, which I found out recently is apparently not common.
Yeah.
I also have nightmares quite regularly, and they vary in subject, but I'm trying to think something recently. I can't think. Like I'm drawing a blank, but I'm so susceptible to nightmares. It's ridiculous.
Me too. So I can't do. That's why I can't do really, really scary things.
I
I don't
stay
need the
away from
extra
the super
fuel,
creepy.
you know.
Yeah, I can do slasher, and I can't do like paranormal and demonic.
Yeah, like campy slasher.
Yeah,
I can definitely do like, and that's why I could handle Freddy.
Yeah.
Hey, Bad Wolf.
I used to have recurring dreams about tarantulas because I'm deeply arachnophobic, and I don't think I'd realized as I was a teenager that so I was raised Catholic, and we went on a retreat, and our retreat was in a convent, and the only movie they had in the convent was Arachnophobia.
At a convent.
It's the only movie they had, and I remember. Oh God, I remember like everybody else watching. And watched like I put my sleeping bag and faced the wall while it was on because I was like, "There's no way." But I remembered hearing things from it. I was like, "Why does this movie sound familiar?" So maybe I watched it as a child. But like my dreams were like tarantulas the size of buildings. You'd have to call the army to come in and blow them up. Ugh. Like the eggs would be hatching, and like there was one.
Okay, no more.
Yeah, awful. It's the reason why I will never watch that movie Lucas again.
I haven't seen that.
What's that about?
I can't even watch the spider scene.
Ugh, gross.
I can't even watch the spider scene in Harry Potter.
No, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings,
Lord of the Rings.
Never seen it. I have no idea.
I just look at other stuff or look at my phone and then just kind of wait for it to pass.
Yeah, that's the advantage of having read the books is that you know that it's coming, so you can just be like, oh, what?
So you can just find something else to do. Like I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I'm like I'll be back. Is it over? A bunch of this.
Yeah, that's something about giant bugs. Period. Well, they don't even have to be giant classified. Like I remember the one summer that I remember spending in Guyana. It was me and one of my cousins. We went there for a summer and stayed at like one of our family friends' house and hung out with their kids all summer. And we were in the yard one time, and the way that neighborhood, because it was close to the seawall, all the houses were on stilts. So we're hanging out, playing under the house, and there's a lot of gutters that they run along the edges of all the yards to make sure it drains properly. We were minding our own business. I think we were playing like hopscotch or something, and I just happened to look over to the gate where the gutter was, and the hugest freaking toad I've ever seen in my life. Literally, this thing was like this big. It just like slid out of the gutter. And I was the only one looking at it and saw it. And it had this massive frown on its face. And I didn't say one word. I turned and ran my ass up the back steps. And they were like, "What's wrong with you?" And I said, "Look at that." I didn't stop. I'm saying this as I'm running, pointing behind me. And then they all followed me once they saw it too. Like this. Just any animal that's of an abnormal size bothers me.
I have a video for you later.
Thank you so much.
I sent it to Tanya and our friend Harry last night because those toads
it scared. I did not go back outside for a week. Like they were literally looking at me like, why are you still sitting in the house? I said, well, yeah, I brought these couple books with me and I wanted to read. And I did, and then that wasn't bullshit. I always loved reading, even as a kid. But they were looking at me while everybody else was outside, like, "Are you sure you're okay?" I said, "Yep, I'll just stay right here. Good."
For me, this is just like emphasizes the importance of winter. It doesn't allow things to grow unchecked. You need the cold to come around and stop it.
That is why I love when fall comes back, because all the bugs that fly and buzz around and bother me can go back to hell where they came from, and I don't have to deal with them for another 5 months, at least. But yes, that's me and my weird antics.
You know what I used to be really scared of when I was a kid, and I don't know if other islands have this being? Rolling calf.
What is that?
Rolling calf is basically this like haunted bull. And it comes after people who misbehave and other things, but essentially rolling calf comes out at night, has glowing red eyes, and will hunt you down. And one of the ways to trick rolling calf is to walk backwards. So
interesting.
I spent a lot of time in Jamaica in like the country area, so it's like really, really, really dark at night.
Oh yeah, super dark.
And we were coming from, I don't know if it was a funeral or a 9-night or something. And somebody screamed rolling calf.
Shut the fuck up.
And because I was a kid, I swore I saw the red eyes. I'm sure I didn't. But in my memories, I saw the red eye. I just got goosebumps just
That's a huge
saying it.
nope.
Oh my God.
That's a huge nope.
And I had to run in the dark, and they kept telling me to turn around and run backwards, but I didn't want to turn around and see him. And like, I honestly, my memory stops there. I don't remember what happened after
That's
that.
interesting. That's interesting.
I don't remember what happened after that, but yeah.
The one thing that I just remembered in you saying that, like for in Guyana, when you're coming home and it's like after a certain time at night, when you walk in the house, you walk in backwards, so nothing can follow you in.
Nothing, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And I say that too.
And I still catch to this day. It's that's like one of the main things that I've always stuck. I'm like, you know what? Again, I live alone. I am not testing anything that might or may not happen. No, whenever I walk in the house, and I was actually talking about it with one of my friends on Facebook. We worked together many moons ago when we were young and lived on campus, near OSU campus. And she says, I remember you yelling at me to walk into your house backward after we were coming home from the bar one night. And she was like, I think I posted like something creepy. And I was like, yeah, I don't understand how some people get caught up in this nonsense. Because we would see this shit, me and my family, and just go the other way. And she was like, yeah, I absolutely. Oh, it was a coffee table that was a freaking Ouija board.
Nope.
Oh, hell no.
And I posted that, and my only caption on it was why.
Nope.
And she and that was her comment. She was like, yeah, you would never have this in your house ever. I was like, no, not at all. Not at all. It's absurd.
No. I had a roommate.
I don't like tempting anything.
I know a roommate who was on an artistic project, and she just wanted to like artistically make different types of Ouija boards. And I was like, I'm moving out in like a week. Wait.
I just remembered, since you said that, I just remembered a dream that was super, super creepy.
Ooh,
and someone interpreted it, and like it caused someone else in their church to start a prayer circle for me.
Oh no.
It started off good. It was about my great grandmother, and we were going to go out, and she was in my apartment, and I was throwing things in a bag, trying to get things ready. And she's all dressed up in her church hat and everything. And she starts rushing me. And I'm like, I know. And she's like, the car is outside. And I'm like, I know. Just hold on. I have to get one more thing. And I kept stalling. And she was getting angrier and angrier. And finally I was like, I'm just not ready. I'm sorry. I'm not ready. And, and I woke up, and somebody told me she was trying to bring me into the afterlife.
Oh my
and
God.
You told me that
I
before.
told you about that? Yeah.
You told me that you've had several dreams like that before. Yeah, I remember that now.
And she said that it was good that I said I'm not ready, and I didn't follow her, because she said if I had followed her, I would have died in my sleep. And then it caused somebody, I tweeted about it, just like, wow, what a crazy dream. And all these people were like, I'm praying for you. And I was like, oh my God. And then I got a DM from someone that like she started a prayer circle over me in her church.
So, wow. Yeah, okay. Here's a random question. have you guys ever felt like you've dreamwalked?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like it's those dreams where like all of your senses are basically on like 9,000. Like when you sit and you eat food, you can actually taste what's being eaten.
Yeah.
You can have smells. When someone touches you, you actually feel.
I thought you meant like walking in somebody else's body when you said dream walk.
No, well, that's technically part of it.
I've been other people in dreams. I'm in other people in dreams a lot, actually.
The way I've, well, just from my personal experience, how it figures for me is I while I am in other people, I'm just in other me's. In different random situations. Like I don't know what the hell was going on in one dream I had one time, but it was near my job, and there was this huge, weird, some type of protest or uprising or something, but there were like about 300 people crowding the streets. I couldn't get to wherever my car was, that's one thing that's really weird because I don't drive. So I don't know. Apparently me in that universe has a driver's license, and whatever, I don't even remember what she looked like, but whatever woman I was in a relationship with at that time, I told her, I said, look, I got to go finish this thing. If I can get out later, I will find you. But here, take the keys, get the kids, get in the car, go. And I saw myself like climbing into the building. I don't know why I couldn't go through the front door. Had to climb literally to the second floor and climb in through a window and help whoever else was in there do some things. It was really freaking weird. But I woke up before anything was really accomplished, so I have no idea what happened. I'm just hoping that other me in that universe is okay.
Yeah.
And she made it out and found wifey and the kids. It's weird. Like I've had a few weird ass dreams like that. Dreams are they're
so
such crazy things, and there's no actual explanation for how everything works sometimes. And that also, I think, is another reason why I think Dream Warriors is my favorite movie in this series, because Patricia Arquette, and this is baby Patricia Arquette, that's in this movie. She's our final girl, and she has this power that allows her to pull people into her dreams to help her if she needs, and that is fascinating. And that could lead to so many different things. Honestly, I think that her character should have had a couple more movies, because they could have spun some storylines.
Yeah,
that, especially with an entity that operates the way Freddy does. So, but let's go ahead and get into the movie. Tanya, I'll kick it to you first this time. How walk us through the opening and let us know your thoughts on what was going on there.
So when I saw the powder, and my mind was like, ooh, she's doing coke. And then I was like, oh no, she's baking a
teenagers, cake. Tanya, teenagers.
Girl.
Well,
if you grew up in the town I grew up in.
You're right.
Yeah.
Right. My bad.
Starting in middle school where I grew up.
Yeah. Shit was rough. Was rough.
And then I thought she was making a cake, and then I realized she was making this paper mache house. I didn't recognize right away whose house it was. I just assumed it was, and obviously I knew it was like Freddy related. I did not realize right away that it was Nancy's house, all boarded up. And I assumed, since she was drinking, she took that spoon of coffee and washed it down with
the heartburn cocktail.
How scared do you have to be to put that concoction in your mouth to try to stay awake?
Right. Yeah. So I was like, okay, obviously she's having Freddy dreams, because she's trying desperately to stay awake. And then, her mom coming in and being all mean about it. I was like, I thought her mom was going to die. Because, it's always like the person who likes to have sex dies. And her mom had a date.
Technically, she does. Technically, later on.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a moment.
Yeah, I the first thing I thought was, okay, she's going to die. Because she had a date. And, in the 80s, it was like,
you can't have sex in these movies.
If you have sex, you die. Oh, man, we should do Scream.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Put that on the list for next year.
Yeah. Fandom said teenagers don't mean anything. I'm gonna be honest. I knew 13-year-olds who not only had the money for it, but were buying that shit, because the wealthier the town, the younger they do drugs.
Yeah.
Anyway, those are my beginning thoughts about the movie.
All right, Nikki.
Yeah, similarly, it's just like like you have her, she's making this house, that if you've seen like the other movies, that it's Freddy's house, and you have this parent who comes home and is like not at all interested. I think I took issue with the 80s working woman divorced mom trope, like I have to be hyper masculine because I'm the one who's going out and making all the money, and I'm divorced and I don't care about my kid, but there's this man waiting downstairs and I can't keep him waiting, like I was like,
1 o'clock in the morning.
Really,
ma'am,
really. I was like, I know your child is cock blocking you, but she told you she's afraid.
And this has been going on for a while. It's not just tonight.
This isn't like the second night since she dreamt it. If she's eating coffee.
She's eating coffee. I wrote there's the heartburn cocktail, because that made my go, how do you sleep with that acid reflux from that concoction?
Well, that's the thing. She's not supposed to sleep.
Oh God, so uncomfortable. But I made a note about the music. I wrote shout out to synths, and then I looked it up. And it's like this glam metal band called Dokken that did the music for this movie, along with I wrote it down. Hold on. Angelo Badalamenti, who was David Lynch's like go-to guy for scores. He did like Twin Peaks and a bunch of other things.
Nice.
But they did the whole score of this movie, which is why it's all synthy and like weird and scary. But yeah, I think like the setup is like, okay, this girl she's having problems. She can't trust her mom. And you know that her mom is just looking to get rid of her at the soonest possible moment. So, so scary. I just felt so bad for her.
Yeah.
You know, because she's doing her best to stay awake, and then she gets tucked in, and you're like, oh, why? Like, my thought was like, why are you staying in bed? Like, close the door. When she closes the door, turn your light back on and get back to building. I'm not going to sleep.
At all. Not at all.
And you know, one of the things to me that's like the most scary about Freddy is you can't sleep because Freddy will kill you, but staying awake will kill you.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just stuck. You're just stuck.
Yeah.
You can't even.
How do you want to die?
Awake.
I think it's like the ultimate.
It's like trying to when you're trying to keep yourself in your movie seat and not have to get up and run to the bathroom. Eventually, your body will take over, whether you like it or not.
Yeah,
whether you're an adult and you have the most amazing bladder control ever, your body's gonna be like, no, this has to go now.
Being pregnant,
you don't make it to the toilet.
Being pregnant and trying to sit through a movie is a nightmare. Your
That's
bladder is a sliver, and you have to like dehydrate yourself essentially if you want to make it through the movie. I never once made it through a movie. So like you said, your body will take over, and it's like, do I want to finish this or do I want to pee my pants in public?
Yeah, I think that's the most evil thing about Freddy. You know, it's just like he's coming to you in your sleep, and he's doing it to teenagers, and it's just like he by doing. So, like, you know, by one being attacking teenagers and two doing it while they're asleep, he like absolutely removes all their agency. Nobody's gonna believe them, right? Like all their credibility is like nobody's gonna believe them.
We see that throughout the whole movie. These poor kids, they're literally screaming, "You are killing us!"
And that horrible psychiatrist.
Okay, so I'm not the only one that wants to
jump in. I hate her so much.
Honestly, I didn't love the guy. I didn't love the guy either, particularly when that kid committed suicide. And he's like, he let us down. He let himself down.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just sensitive right now.
But you know what, Tanya? I think it's an 80s perspective on suicide. Because the other thing that I think that this movie relies on really heavily is victim blaming, but also it relies heavily on like a Catholic approach to life. Not just Christianity, but Catholic approach to life.
Very bad.
And if you don't have any of the, if you didn't grow up in that tradition, you don't understand why all these things are scary or haunting, or why suicide is being condemned in the way that it is.
And also, it even the guy, doctor, I forget his name. I thought I wrote it down.
I think it's Dr. Gordon.
Is it Gordon? Dr. Gordon?
Yeah.
You can tell where his head is right at the beginning when they're talking about the new intern that's going to come in and all the work that she's done and you know, she's got these high remarks, and he's like, I don't want some new young hotshot coming in here just trying to make a name for themselves and they'll come in and ruin my work. What work though? Nothing that you are doing is helping these kids.
You walk through, saw a girl who's basically like catatonic, says, how are you doing? She says nothing, and then he's just like, oh, just as I thought, and keeps walking. And I was like, what kind of
Nancy?
So many dismissals.
So many dismissals, and then that's actually a really good segue there. Imagination Realm special shout outs to my girl Imagination Realm. Me, her, and Johnny had some good discussions last night. She was the reason why the rum was gone last night. we were hanging out for quite a while after we got off Johnny's stream. I should have took my ass to bed, but it was like 3-4 o'clock in the morning, so I was like, well, okay, I guess I'm here now. But back on topic. My bad.
Oh, speaking of shout out to Larry Fishburne.
Yeah, Larry, young Larry. I forgot.
Larry.
That's one thing you forget with these old campy movies is how many big name stars started out in these movies.
And now he's like big. He's like, I am not Larry anymore.
And now he's Morpheus, and he's looking at him like, what the fuck?
I am Lawrence.
What? No,
I'm
Lawrence. My name is Lawrence.
Put some respect on my name.
Yep.
Now let me put my Morpheus glasses on. There were a lot of big names, like we said now, Patricia Arquette. She's our lead girl for this movie, and she's a rock star. Her and like all of her siblings, I think, are in the game, and it's another one of those families that are big in Hollywood. They all got talent, and I stand that. I stand families actually doing the cool things together. Hey, Christian. But damn, that segue totally just took me out. What the hell was I talking about?
We're talking about dismissals.
Oh, yeah. Nancy literally proves herself that first day, how valuable she could be. And, because it's when Kristen first gets admitted into the hospital and her mom's there, we see her ridiculous self saying, oh, I know her. She's just looking for attention. And it turns out, like we were saying earlier, that she's like a working mom. She's working, but she has money besides that. Because she's standing there saying, like, no, all this started when I took her credit cards away.
Yeah. Right. And it's like, ma'am, she slit her wrist.
You really don't think deeper than credit cards going on there? Exactly.
So I'm so annoyed by that mother.
And they're trying to sedate her, and that's what the trigger was, because she does not want to sleep. So she's going off on the orderly that's in there trying to stick her with the needle. And when Nancy hears the commotion, she's coming in. Kristen starts reciting the Freddy poem.
Ryan,
and Nancy comes in and finishes it, and that automatically helps bring her back around to seeing like actual reality and what's in front of her and calming her down. And Nancy didn't know what exactly was going on, and she was looking at her too, like, how do you know that rhyme?
Yeah.
And Kristen, it's so taxing on Kristen that she couldn't even say anything. She just automatically let Nancy take the scalpel out of her hand, and she falls into her arms and hugs her, because she's been screaming for help for months now. And no one knows. No one's listening. Nancy gets it within 2 seconds. I don't blame her. If I were her, I would have absolutely lunged and reached out for that lifeline too.
Yeah, definitely.
And you know what else was frustrating? Like when they were in their group sessions, these children are all unconnected, yet they're having the same nightmare. And even if you don't believe in the supernatural, you've got to wonder.
See that.
I thought it was really. Go ahead.
Freddy. It's based off of this like weird case where I forgot where it was, but young men kept dying in their sleep.
Yeah, I remember reading that.
I think I remember reading that. Yeah.
And I can't remember where they were, but the young men just kept dying in their sleep, and nobody knew why. And that's what gave him the idea to write this movie about somebody who comes and kills you in your sleep. And it's like, to think, like, we still don't know why those young men were dying in their sleep.
Yeah.
And they were unconnected, aside from being from the same community. But yeah.
I think it's crazy too. It's like we end up finding out later that they're all Elm Street kids, and that's a connection. But like Max and Mr. Larry Fishburne, like in that opening scene, he's like, he's like, all their parents dropped LSD. Like maybe that's the thing that's connecting them all. And I was like, but because he's not a doctor.
Nobody's gonna listen to him, right?
Dismissing him, dismiss. They dismiss his thoughts. They dismiss the children's thoughts. And I had a lot of problems with the way that the doctor was treating Kincaid, because everything that had to do with Kincaid, it was automatically escalated.
Yeah,
and completely. I hated that. And every single time
they wrote him to be, of course, the angry black kid.
Yeah,
and I when you're young and you're watching stuff like that, sometimes you don't notice it, but rewatching it with adult eyes, I'm looking the whole time Kincaid's on the screen like, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I was just happy he lived.
Yeah.
Because there was that
surprising.
Yeah, there was that moment where I was like, oh no, is he gonna be like the magical Negro trope?
Right.
And the idea that like the black person gives their life to save the others.
Yeah, because Freddy was dropping him like
when he was holding him in the air. When he was holding him in the air, and because he came to save Nancy, and I was like, please don't be the magical Negro trope, please, and it wasn't. So I was happy with that. Yay, the black guy made it. A scene that really stood out for me was the scene with that nurse seducing the kid who didn't speak.
Oh, right, Joey.
We'll get to that, because there's there's two situations
Okay.
like that I absolutely want to talk about
Okay.
that bothered me
Mm-hmm.
a lot on both ends, especially when it comes to Taryn. But what we were saying before is how all these kids are connected with this dream, and none of them knew each other. They all live in different neighborhoods around the city. There's no way that they knew anything about where their parents were from or what block their parents grew up on, because they don't talk about that. And it's like we don't talk about Bruno's. It's this huge secret that everybody's keeping, and it's Philip, the sleepwalker. He's the one that brings it up.
Yeah.
Again, because these kids aren't listened to, they completely bypass what he's saying. It's like all these things that are happening. We can stop the discussion. Let's just pay attention to this right here. Let me get y'all hit. He basically says, "Let me get y'all hit to game real quick."
Mm-hmm.
And he says, all of us are having this same dream, and we were dreaming about this dude before we met, and no one thinks something might be up with that.
Right.
No one thinks that's significant at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. It's just like, okay, let's just sedate them. They're being crazy.
Exactly. It's so ridiculously absurd, and I really don't understand how you could actually be in that profession and feel like you are actually there to help these kids when you're dismissing everything they say left and right.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
And it was annoying to me because I was like what's her name? Nurse, Dr. Sims. Is Dr. Sims?
Yeah,
Dr. Sims. I'm like, she's such a hyper Freudian. Like, oh, it must be tied to this, and it must. I'm like, no.
So she said, tied to the guilt.
Tied to the guilt,
like,
and I mean, and that's one
what,
Catholic
though?
and Freud. Like, I'm like, yo, what are we doing here? And I think it really speaks to where psychology was at that time and psychiatry was at that time. Because I was like, well, why are we taking a Freudian approach when obviously a Jungian one would be much more appropriate, since we are talking about, dream symbols and they're all sharing the same thing. But what do I know?
Yeah. It's
so frustrating.
So frustrating. Like, and I've, random insight on AK and her ridiculousness. I've spent time in a hospital setting like that, and it is very hard. Especially when because when the adults aren't around, all the kids will talk.
Mm-hmm.
In that setting, you're always most comfortable just with your peers, regardless of how much they try to get you to talk. And even if they get you to talk, it's not guaranteed that you're going to say what is actually happening. You're going to give them a script, because that's what's just going to make them leave you alone and take the spotlight off of you.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're done for that session of the day.
Right.
That's it. And that's exactly what we saw really played out here. The kids, they were absolutely talking to each other. Like that first night when Philip starts sleepwalking, I don't like how
gross.
Again, I don't like how they wrote Kincaid there.
I don't either, because I was like, why, you guys don't have a buddy system too, like these other guys?
Exactly. It makes no sense that they wouldn't have a buddy system.
Yeah.
They absolutely would. So why put that scenario in there just because he's angry, he's the angry black kid, he doesn't really care about anything but himself?
He has no feelings.
No, he absolutely cares.
Empathy.
We see that at the end.
Yeah,
we see that at the end. So it makes no sense that he would act like that as like his base form at the end. But then he just tells Philip to, oh well, have a nice walk, you asshole. That's dumb. That's a dumb decision. And
why not just wake him up?
Exactly. Get up out of your bed, wake him up. And
you don't even have to get out of your bed. Yell really loud.
How did he walk by that nurse? And you can hear his clothes swishing. You can hear his clothes moving. You can hear his feet on the tile floor. And they say this later, like, oh, well, all you're going to have locks on your doors now, and you're not going to be able to leave. It doesn't matter about the locks on the doors. The door he fucking went through was locked. So how do you explain that?
Through a door.
He went through a door that was locked. How do you explain that?
But also,
how was this just
and no one
accident? It makes no sense.
No one questioned the fact that he was in a place that was padlocked and still padlocked. No one ever questioned it. And no one questioned how he walked right past the nurse's station.
And she
See,
didn't
who
see
was
him.
and she's a woman, and everybody knows that if you're a woman, you hear things in the middle of the night that wake you up. My mom could distinguish. There's 4 of us. My mom could distinguish who was walking downstairs by our footsteps. So you mean to tell me that this black lady nurse did it? Come on.
I can hear my kids rolling over in bed.
You know,
Exactly.
my cat starts to get a hairball. She goes in the middle of the night. I wake up. I'm like, oh no, none of my comforter. You know, like no. That was so unbelievable to me. Like, ugh,
exactly.
It makes sense.
So these are the
And
antics
also,
of these movies from that era.
When Joey came to get her, and he's panicking and pointing, and she's not jumping on her feet.
No sense of urgency at all. You don't hit one alarm. You don't call for security. Nothing.
And then they're all in the room.
They're all in the room screaming, and nobody comes.
And no one comes. Like what?
Yeah.
I understand it's night shift. I get it. I know it's night shift, and there's not that many people there. But in a situation like that, where you know these kids have had suicidal tendencies, and all of this other stuff has happened. Kids have already died. There are kids that we have that
specifically at night
died before that. So you don't have guards stationed nearby to respond to something like this.
Like the people who are on duty,
irresponsible.
We're not hanging out in the TV room to hear this going on. Like,
and no one questioned how she with the TV room scene. No one questioned how she got up there to get her head through the TV.
Up there?
Yeah, I wrote. It was like, explain this death, please.
First of all, not only did she she supposedly smashed her head into that monitor, but she was maybe about 2-3 feet off the ground. And it wasn't even just her face, like her whole head. Chest.
And you know how
head was in there.
And you know how thick those TVs were in the 80s. You are not just smashing your face through that screen by yourself.
You couldn't even take a hammer to one of those things. It would take a few strikes to break that thing.
Exactly. So like your head, you'd be unconscious before you got your head through it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And nobody questioned how she got her head, not only got her head through it, but was 2 feet off the ground.
It was like she jumped and like
she was in there by herself.
Right. Like she just went off a running start to headbutt the TV. Like there are so many better ways to unalive yourself.
Right.
I just figured it out. They gave her, and they didn't even know they were doing it. They were setting us up. They gave her the Arya Stark treatment. You know, Arya just jumped out of thin air to kill the Night King. Well, not one damn tree, not one tree branch or wall in sight. She just came out of thin air and did that jump. So that's
she's an Olympic high jumper. You didn't know.
But you know why we're talking about explaining
even they have a running start. So never mind.
Yes,
that scene when
yes, Peter.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. But you know what? I was like, if we're talking about explain why this didn't happen, like, why is nobody questioning the power dynamic and the relationship between Nancy and the doctor? Like, you all are having dinner. You're at his house.
Yeah, they jumped straight into a relationship.
Was that a date? Was that supposed to be a date?
Like, a date.
The first dinner I would buy is like, you know what, we had a rough day at work. Let's go burn off some steam, get some Thai food. Sure.
Right.
But then she was at his house. And suddenly he's like, he's making professional decisions based on like what she's saying when he was like at first like, oh no, I can't do that. I was like, so how fast did their relationship progress?
And I was about to say, how dare he pick up her pills and read them?
Oh man,
such a violation.
I was like, hold on,
and then to have the gall to even bring it up to her as if that's something okay that he did. She should have chopped him in the head at that point. Put those chopsticks in his neck.
You don't get to tell me what my experiences are, especially when you are Nancy Thompson and you have been exactly in the situation these kids have.
And it's only been what, 6 years?
It's only been a few years. The fact that she's still on that medicine means that it's still messing with her.
And
she's not over it.
Even if he didn't know her name, wouldn't he have heard of the Elm Street kids who kept dying in like a span of a week?
Or at least gone to the library
who complained about nightmares. Right. These Elm Street kids who complained about nightmares and died one by one in a very short window of time that would have made news.
Yeah.
So like,
I mean, 6 years is not that long.
6 years is not that long.
Especially not like, you know, in the same town, in this profession.
In the same city.
Just so you guys know, by the way, this has happened before.
No, she said
Right, you would like you said,
Even if you're
Nikki.
new to town.
Like you said, Nikki, go to the microfiche and be like, "Has this happened before?" And
Yeah,
you're
that's what was
scrolling through
missing
news
from
stories.
this.
Okay, see, that's the thing though. It's 6 years. You wouldn't even need to go to microfiche. You can just go to the library and get
And
that
they'll have
newspaper.
it. Yeah.
I would have dug a scene with the librarian making it creepy and going like, "Here's these articles."
And then
I
him
always
seeing
hate those
Nancy's
scenes.
name and being
Seeing
like,
Nancy's name, yeah.
Like, see, and that's the thing.
Rewrite.
You went and you looked up this woman's medicine, but you didn't look up information on her. She's an intern. Didn't y'all do background checks? No.
You don't think it's like a bit of a conflict of interest?
Are you not curious? Are you not curious as to why she's so good and why she I mean, because apparently being an intern there was like a really big deal. That was like a big stepping stone for her to come in. That's why he was worried about her outshining him.
Right, looking for fame.
Yeah.
Was she an intern or was she just a new hire?
No, I think
I'm pretty sure they said
mentioned her being
the graduate student.
Yeah. It was a grad student intern thing.
Oh, I forgot I downloaded this and I just unlocked my phone to see. Freddy. I was trying to make that my background.
I love Freddy.
I love Freddy Krueger.
There's something about him and Chucky and just the way they put shit in sentences cracks me up. And he's such a dick sometimes.
And he's always like, doing that tongue thing.
He's amazing.
I mean,
he's amazing. I think like for horror movie characters.
These kids. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say for horror movie characters, I think of the ones who like actually scare me. Freddy, I was never really scared of.
Oh,
I was. Basically, Voldemort with the hook. We shall not mention him.
Voldemort with the hook.
He who shall not be named with the hook. We're not talking about him. Don't say his name.
I don't know.
Not one.
I honestly don't know who you're talking about.
Don't say it once, let alone was it 5?
Oh, that guy. Okay.
Yep. So not him.
Never mind.
Terrifying. Terrifying.
Confection guy.
Yeah, we don't say that.
Confection guy.
We don't talk about that one.
Leprechaun also scared me more because we watched. Yes,
Leprechaun was hilarious.
Here's the thing about Leprechaun. We watched that as was family movie night, and we thought it was a comedy.
It was. I mean, at least to
not
me,
when you're 9.
I think I watched it when I was like 10.
I was a little bit older because my brother was 3 and he's had nightmares his entire life because of that movie.
Bro, he was running around talking about taking people's ears off.
Sorry, but yeah, oh my god,
he was talking about
terrifying.
Taking people's ears off and turning them into shoes.
Well, we're also Irish.
Okay, me and my cousins are weird. Okay, I guess we found that funny. Me and my cousins are weird.
No, Chucky messed me up because I saw it in 1988.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, my mom. Yeah, when it first came on VHS, my mom went to Blockbuster and was just like, "Oh, we're gonna have a family movie night." And looking back, it was like so my dad and her could be alone, and she just chose Child's Play. She didn't read anything. She didn't pay attention to the cover. She saw Child, picked it up, left, and put it in the VCR. No. And her and my dad left. And obviously now I realize they just wanted to be alone and distract us with the movie. But that movie was Child's Play, and the My Buddy doll was out.
Yeah,
terrifying.
My buddy and kid sister for a while. I actually gave away. A few years ago, I actually gave away my old stuffed animals and kid sister doll to my neighbors.
I would never let kid sister in my home.
Our friend was telling us about how after he saw Child's Play, he threw his My Buddy doll out the window. And then the bodega owner gave it back to his mom.
See? And now it's back. So you throw it out the window and now it's back.
Shout out to Harry.
Oh my god.
You gotta kick that doll into a fireplace.
Oh my god.
I don't know, man. Chucky, he's another one on par for me, like Freddy. He just says some ridiculous dumb shit.
I love the one.
And he's played by that I can never remember his name. But anytime you see this guy, he's kind of like Brent Spiner, like Data on Star Trek. He's just always playing this weird ass character, and he fits for that role. I guess it's just the way he delivers it, and it cracks me up every time. All of his antics, especially once it started getting really campy, and they brought in Jennifer Tilly.
By then
it was a comedy. Yeah.
and then they have a baby, and that was when I was like, okay,
That-
this is just
all of
absurdity,
the
but
extra.
I'll watch.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Okay, sorry, tangents, y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all,
That's-
this
They
is
were
what we do.
related. It was
They
related.
were related.
They were. All right, where were we? Where were we though?
Maybe the group session, hypnosis.
Philip. Yeah. Philip had just died, and now they were talking about what did they say? This is no. What the hell? What's the word the term that he used? Is that only
just
straight talk? Only
Oh,
straight
yeah.
talk in this session. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, really?
Straight talk
Really?
unless you're black.
Like, I thought we said straight talk. Well,
Like,
you know what? I don't
yeah.
want straight talk. I want gay talk. How about that?
Here.
Gavel bang.
Make it happen. But no, it's
Love it.
that whole discussion. Like, I have issues with almost all of their group sessions
Yeah.
because y'all don't want these kids to actually be real with you. You're saying that,
And they know
but
that.
that's not what you're actually. That's not the energy you're actually putting out there. And these kids are reading your energy. Okay,
Right.
They know that you're not actually trying to help. You just want to curb their mind to your will. That's it. You want them to see things the way you see it and to assess their situation the way you are assessing it. And you want that confirmation so you can pat yourselves on the back and say, good job. We actually did something today.
Exactly.
Like, it takes
Let's get that
far
funding.
too much. Yeah.
Right.
It takes far too much to happen. It's, two deaths? There's Philip and then who's the next kid? The girl, Jennifer.
Yeah.
It takes those two deaths to make Gordon start actually listening to what those kids are truly saying.
It takes those two deaths and digging into Nancy literally to make him listen.
to make him listen.
You got on the coochie phone,
which is
coochie make you change your mind.
I mean,
You got that nightmare coochie.
I understand his thought pattern. Okay, maybe a little more than y'all do.
Coochie make me lose control.
I get it, but that's still some bullshit. That's still some bullshit because fuck you for not listening when she tried to tell your ass in the first 5 minutes that she came on the screen. Here is what the deal actually is.
Yeah.
I know these kids. I know exactly what they're going through. Oh, I know these kids. I've been treating them for how you ain't treating shit, bro. If you were actually treating them, they wouldn't be there anymore.
Right. You've been watching them and observing them.
Yeah.
But you have not been treating them because they're still at the beginning.
Answer a couple questions in the stream. Yes. It is the first death off the building. That's Phil, Mr. Puppet Maker.
Yeah, Philip is the first death that we see.
Somebody asked what magical power. Yes.
What magical power?
What magical power that
I would
have thinking about this.
I would have sword fingers.
Sword fingers.
Like a bastard sword, not like a full broadsword.
Yeah.
But because Chucky has nails, razor
Freddy's got
blades on the one hand.
Yeah.
But I would have two hands that I could retract my broadsword fingers and slice them up with a little distance between us. I'd have better reach.
So like Wolverine plus reach.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that.
Well, no.
Would I be able to retract them like Black Panther?
That would be more like a Lady Deathstrike then, not Wolverine.
Yes.
Okay.
I still have to think about mine. I was thinking about this when they brought that question up, and I don't know yet.
Yeah, I would literally only want a power that could kill Freddy.
Yeah.
And I feel like slicing him up is on his level. So
or at the very least would allow me to get away. See, I don't know.
I want to be able to trap him.
If it's going to be something, okay, we'll see. And
like Ghostbusters.
That's where we have to bring a little bit of the magic in then. Not just weapons, because weapons aren't actually going to affect him that much.
That's true. That. So I would need holy water spray.
So
out of my eyes.
So instead of like Cyclops beams, it just
I take my glasses down. I'm like, ah.
But I guess that only work. That works in the context of this movie because then after that, I think the first scene I worked with Freddy was number. It was like. The fifth one or the sixth one must have been the first one because it's the one where he's slicing off his fingers and he's counting the ways that he's died. He's like, first they burned me, and then they tried holy water, and then they tried to da-da-da-da. And I was just like, he just cut it off his fingers here. Talk about these deaths.
Right. See, that's what I'm saying. Weapons. Yeah. I don't know what kind of weapon you could actually get that would be 100% effective.
You'd have to get the Ghostbusters. What's that thing called?
The containment units.
Yeah. And just trap them in a Ghostbusters containment unit and just, I don't know.
I'm thinking about Merlin and Seven Deadly Sins. I don't know if anyone watches that anime, but like how she's got this thing where she's able to trap the people in this magical bubble for a certain amount of time. Like, I guess I'd need that, but yeah, basically containment.
It would have to be see, that is more along the lines of science. I think if it comes to containment and we're talking Ghostbusters, we can incorporate science there.
What was it called in Doctor Strange? The mirror realm or something like that?
The mirrorverse. Something
Trap
like
him in
that.
Something like that where he's can't hurt anything outside.
I don't think that would work either. Because
Wanda got out?
No, because magic does not affect him either. Remember?
That's right.
We have a wizard.
See, with a wizard.
We
have
his
Dungeons and Dragons magic.
Will.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Will.
He caught him for like 2 seconds in that spell, and then he was like, "Yeah, I don't believe in magic, you nerd."
Is that it? So do we think that Will from Stranger Things is like maybe like a homage to Will in this movie, Dream Warriors?
Ooh, interesting connection. I hadn't considered that either. Might be because the Duffer Brothers are huge 80s slasher fans. That's how they came up with a lot of stuff for Stranger Things.
I wonder.
Good catch. I like that thought. All right,
so maybe my superpower would be to give myself all of Freddy's powers.
I like that.
There you go.
And then it's
Freddy. Just a battle royale between us. The last two left.
Fighting fire with fire. I would totally.
Or I turn into his mother. Oh, he had mommy issues. Turn into his mother and fuck him up.
She's literally the only one that's completely undefeated. Anytime she steps into a story,
that's true.
Whatever little help she gives, they win.
Yeah, that's true.
And actually, and she actually makes an appearance a few times.
I knew she was a ghost immediately.
Yeah,
just like because who just stands there?
She just looked like that. She looked like she was.
And like who just stands there like that? All these people like and just stares. Like obviously she's a ghost
at a cemetery of all places.
Well, before that, we see her after he
right. Right. She's just standing in the courtyard,
in the walkway. Yeah.
Okay, let's go down that little sidebar real quick. They didn't show that scene in here, but in one of the other movies, they do actually detail a little bit what happened with Amanda Kruger. And holy fuck.
That's one of the most terrifying scenes I've ever seen.
I haven't seen it.
It's okay. Well, do you mind hearing the minor spoiler?
Go for it.
Oh, okay. So basically, like she explained in this movie, the girl, the young nun that was working there, she got trapped because for whatever reason they were not keeping track of all of their people. And
you mentioned that in this movie
during a holiday weekend. She was trying to get to the door, but that when she says they were in their pack like animals, it was literally shoulder to shoulder of
maniacs.
Just huge men all around it packed into this room. So her little self trying to weave through that and get to the stairs and even make herself noticed so they could look over and see she was still in there did not work. And
they locked the door.
As soon as that door closed, all eyes turned on her, and even watching that as a child, I immediately knew what the hell was coming, and I said, "Oh no, no!" That's
terrifying because they already set you up to you know that these people are like criminally insane. It's like being locked in Arkham. With all the gates open, and it's just you're the only one there. You're the only woman.
Horrible.
Awful.
I don't even like being the only woman in my train car, so I can't even imagine.
Me neither. I always get up and leave.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't. Damn it, that just makes me more homesick.
Aww.
Actually, though, I'm actually trying to plan that because I did do a little bit more research, and I have until next May of 2023 to fly with my current ID. So I might pop up.
Come
over
through.
The holidays or something.
We love a reason to celebrate anything.
Literally anything.
Well, actually, I haven't had a live birthday party in a while. So
And guess what I love?
I will call y'all.
I love birthday parties.
And I love unbirthday parties.
And I will throw a birthday party when it's not. I'll throw a birthday party when it's not your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll make you a balloon garland like I did for Nikki. I made her Game of Thrones balloon garland. So
which is still alive and well, by the way.
Wow. Those are good balloons.
Yeah.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
I mean, Tanya and I, we have many parallel experiences in common. Like, she likes to throw birthday parties for people who's not their birthday. I like to do unbirthday parties and go out, and people be like, "Didn't we just celebrate your birthday?" I'm like, "No, but I bought you a bunch of drinks." I was like, "It was my unbirthday party."
See,
we also we have the same birthday month, so we both celebrate all month too.
Yeah,
that's right. What you guys are both
August
month, wasn't it? August. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
That's why I remember, because my fucking cousin is also a Leo.
I saw a poem about that, about Black people celebrating their birthday all month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we should. Damn it.
It is really good. Do you want me to read it to you, or no? I'll read it to you afterwards.
Okay,
it's really good.
Yeah, I need to save it.
It's really good.
Okay.
We'll save it for after.
Seriously, put a pin in that. Put a pin in that, because I do want to hear it.
We'll go. But if you want to go back real quick to just like the things that people were choosing, I was once again annoyed with Kincaid. I was like, "You chose brute strength, really?"
You know what? No. I get that. I don't all the way agree with it, but I get it, because again, when it comes to battling Freddy, there ain't a whole lot you could use against him, and Kincaid's extra strength is actually helpful. A few times going through this.
But I thought it was mighty stereotypical.
But I know it was. I do agree. I do agree with you on that point. Absolutely. I still don't know what power I would choose, though. I don't know.
Me neither. I keep thinking. I'd
be like,
I wrote down Krav Maga. You know, that Israeli.
Yeah, Krav Maga
fighting style, but
that
would just like give me a little time to get away. But I think
I'd be a beast that only eats Freddy Krueger's.
But then you would be hungry all the time.
Well, every time I dreamt about him, I'd eat him, and then I could wake up.
You might eat him every night. You just stay asleep. You put him in a regeneration chamber, like be breeding Freddy's.
Like, have you guys seen Black Adam yet?
No, not yet.
No, okay, never mind then. There was something, I would say, a situation that would work with that, but
I was gonna say I just wrote the spin-off to Tanya's nightmares that she's regenerating Freddy's for meals and all these things, and he gets out. and then I get that you've got to go out and like hunt the Freddy's from all over the world.
That's great though, because now he's the prey and I'm hunting him.
I love it.
Yeah. See, Nikki, you're gonna get me into fan fiction right now. That's okay. So I'm learning that I can't have like me and Nikki on the stream with things like this, because our imaginations way too
tell me about my zombie DMX animated series.
Oh yes, we were talking about zombie. Did you tell her about that? Or?
No.
Oh yeah, we were having a whole conversation about like zombie DMX.
I was saying, like, if there are people that I wanted to bring back for spooky season who are dead, it would be DMX, because I think DMX would make an amazing zombie.
Why the hell did you not give me this idea ahead of time, ma'am? We could have did a whole discussion about that.
Well, let's talk about it, because in my mind, he's riding 4-wheelers, and he's got his pack of dogs, and they just go around helping people, and everybody thinks he's scary, but he's actually there to just make everyone's day better, as he did you can read all the DMX accounts. He was delightful. And the day that I met him was like one of my favorite days. He was such a gentleman.
There are times I say I met both sides of him. Honestly, he actually stayed at my hotel that I worked at many months ago here, and I met him. We talked because, of course, New Yorkers are always gonna find each other. So we sat in there chilling, and one of my other fellow managers, him and his wife worked there, and they were both from New York too. So we all hung out for a little bit. It was a bit of a dick, because he let his people smoke in our room, and you're not supposed to do that.
His people were not particularly nice.
They weren't great, but he himself, we had a good time. We had a good time hanging out with them.
Yeah,
that's good.
So that's just that's the only gripe I've ever had about that situation.
R.I.P.
But R.I.P. X, R.I.P. You are missed. Absolutely.
Yes. That was my favorite part, is that after I interviewed him, I was like, he just said all his thing, and then he growled, and I was like, ah!
He was a good dude. He was a good dude. All right, so there's
I wanted to talk about that nurse dream.
Okay. So a little bit before that, this is once they figure out that where Joey goes missing. Mm-hmm. But there's also that bit. I think it's just a little bit before this, or maybe it's after in the sequence. Honestly, don't remember. Sorry. Yeah, there's leftover rum from last night still in my brain, and there's more rum in my cup right now. But the asshole orderly that was standing outside of the fucking shower room waiting for Taryn to come out,
and offer her drugs.
And this is not the way I saw it. This is not the first time that this shit has happened.
Yeah,
he's manipulated her before, and she now is putting her foot down and saying no. But his ass doesn't want to listen. I'm like, oh, you disgusting. That is a child. A vulnerable fucking child. You disgusting piece of shit.
Yeah. Ugh. You know, we already know that he's creeping on the nurse, and he it's like you said, it's not the first time. These are his stomping grounds, and you know it. And we've seen like through other or other genres and real life that this happens for real. You know, so it made me really uncomfortable.
It made me think of Kill Bill.
Yeah.
And then it also made me think of made me think of Unity Kincaid in the first Sandman. Because I just recently listened to it.
I still gotta.
I mean, in the graphic novel, I just finished listening to it, and basically that's what happens to her. She's unconscious and ends up pregnant.
You know what it reminds me of? Remember that movie Sleepers?
Yeah.
Where those kids came. Yeah. I don't think I can ever watch that again. But that was a great movie.
With the boys in that
in that
place. Yeah. I do. I absolutely erased that from my memory.
Yeah. Sorry.
Just
back in the vault. Yeah. No, that was awful. But then the thing to me that's crazy about that is that as overtly disgusting and terrible as that is, it's like the same thing is kind of happening with Nancy and the doctor, and it's okay. It's accepted. It's so accepted that we're not even it's not even talked about.
Yeah.
And it's weird that it's accepted though, because the power dynamic there, the way they played it, I guess they tried to make it seem more innocent than it was, but if that shit was happening today, HR would be looking at him like, Gordon, we need to have a talk.
They have to put up a sign like, please do not fuck
no fraternization, okay? Do not bang the talent. We're not here for that.
No.
Just gross and disgusting. Continue, Tanya, with Joey and the nurse.
I just was thinking, the way he was crushing on this older nurse made me think that he's never been with anyone. Mm-hmm. And he's thinking it's about to be his first time. And I thought she was going to turn into Freddy's face. I mean, he's already going to be ruined for life. He'll never be able to look at titties again.
Sadly, because
he's going to be triggered by titties, triggered by kissing,
just,
and all
triggered by any woman getting near him.
That's all I kept thinking. And I thought she was going to end up with Freddy's face and ruin him that way. But, she threw her tongue and Freddy's like, what's the matter? Tongue tied. And I was like,
he's such a dick. He's such a dick.
I was like, Freddy, come on. I like it. Come on. But yeah, that's all I was thinking about with him was just he has been completely ruined for intimacy.
Yeah. Poor guy.
Also, she did have really great titties.
Shout out to 80s tits in horror movies.
Yeah, she had really great titties.
They flashed them nice.
And he got to see them and then immediately nearly die. Mm-hmm. So now he's going to be triggered. He can't look at nice boobs anymore.
There's a lot of young men that age that would say, okay, I saw some nice titties and then I died, so I'm good. Just saying.
Very true.
Enough. I've reached it.
Right. I can die now.
That's what it was all about.
Can you imagine having titties so great that they're just like, you know what? I'll die.
Right.
Seen him. It's not going to get better than this. Life is
Yeah.
downhill from here.
Yep.
That was all I really had to say
can
about
you,
the nurse.
Can you
Like,
spotlight Peter Griffin's comment, please? Because I'm
What,
dying.
Peter, what the hell are you talking about? Which one?
He says, great, now I have to rewatch for discussion purposes.
oh, of course. Of course. Not for the spectacular breasts at all.
I mean,
no, they were like really great, like exceptionally great
they
breasts.
Were.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and I
like all homo. Those were exceptionally great breasts.
I might have, zoomed in research purposes only. I needed to make sure that they were actually real. They looked like they were hers and natural. So kudos to her.
If you want another movie with like lots of 80s titty, Frankenhooker, you're welcome.
Oh, I haven't watched that yet. If you come by tonight, we should throw.
I might.
On.
Yeah.
Let me know that.
I actually meant to hit you on Insta. Thank you. That's all I'll say.
You're welcome.
I told you I was probably gonna watch it when I went to work that morning, and I did. Luckily my boss was actually out that day, so it was just me and my other coworker. Well, normally on Fridays there's only like 2 or 3 of us in my hallway anyway, because we're still on slight restriction from COVID. So yeah, I was giggling like the whole morning, and she just kept coming by like, "Are you okay?" Because they're not used to me laughing a lot at all. Because normally I go to work, I go to my bat cave, I do my thing, and then I leave and go home. You will not see me unless I have to like deliver something around the floor or go to the copier or something. I just like to be in my sets and not have to move. No one come talk to me unless you absolutely need to. You don't need to call me. Send me an email. I don't like. I'm not there to talk to folks. But that's just me. So and they know when they hear sounds out of my office, they automatically come check on me like, hey, you all right?
Oh, so good. Shout out again to Harry for that recommendation.
Definitely. If he recommends more, do share it.
I watched another one a couple days ago that I can't remember the name of, but the premise was like these girls are going and they have to clean up this house, and then it's Evil Tunes.
I haven't seen that.
Evil Tunes. I've all those free movie apps.
I have Tubi open right now, and it's like giving me all these recommendations for horror things.
Yeah, since I watched Dream Warriors on there, there's a whole bunch of recommends that came up.
A lot of clown stuff. I'm not into that.
Is that a baby?
It automatically.
You can hear him.
Is he okay? Is that little Garvey? Is he all right?
I don't know.
Oh, is it fuck them kids hour again?
Yeah, they're in the other room. Oh, the door's open. You want me to call him?
No. Yes, always. Tiny human break. Go get him.
Hey, Bri. They want to see Garvey.
Cameo.
Baby cameo.
I don't even know if you heard me.
But put him in a costume first.
I have to dig it out the closet.
I know. I'm joking.
I can put him in a Black Panther mask if it's still out here.
They're getting so big, though. I swear, the last time I saw them, like before the other night, they were both still tiny.
I know. You've basically watched them grow up because I started streaming with you while I was still pregnant.
Yep.
All hail TV.
And I love them. I love them like they're mine, and I have never even met them.
They're pretty fun. They can be horrible, but in a mostly fun way. They are both absolutely haunted.
You know what I was going to say real quick about just like since we're talking about the powers is poor Joey, who was out thinking he was going to get deflowered and missed the talk on what superpower could you bring into a dream. I felt bad for him. Like everything that happened next, I was like, nobody told him.
You know what? What's a backstory that I would have really liked to have though? Mm-hmm. What happened to Joey that put him there in that hospital? Because he used to be what Jennifer said when they were going around the room and introducing themselves. He used to be on the debate team. So that means not only did he know how to speak and speak well with power, but he had a booming voice. So what happened? Something extremely traumatic has to happen to you to make you lose your voice.
I assumed it was a Freddy dream.
But see, and that's what happened. What happened in that dream? Like, what did Freddy show him that spooked him that much that he lost the best thing about him? Yeah. Because once he got it back, oh boy.
Yes.
He saved everybody. Like everybody was literally about to be gone in Freddy's traps.
Mirror dimension. That's what
Mirror
it is.
dimension.
The mirror dimension.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
When Joey
so
got
crazy.
when he got his voice back, everybody just came flying right back out the mirror trap.
Well, you got your wish, Alicia.
Look at him!
Hi. Guess who just came stomping out? He's so happy.
Ow. Okay, tiny human break. I'm gonna
There you go. Look, Garvey.
You famous.
You're famous,
precious
Garvey.
boy. Hello,
You
you
gonna say
cute
something?
little egg.
You gonna say
He's like,
anything?
yeah, but what's this over here, Mom?
It's my hair roller. Yeah, what's funny is I had to watch it on my computer. I have like a monitor set up with my laptop, and I had to watch it there because my husband's actually strict about them seeing horror stuff. And I'm just like, I mean, they could go to the other room.
With it.
Like, they have their own room. There's a TV in it. I'm just saying.
The first time that I watched anything horror, I swear, I think I was, 8? Maybe actually younger than that now. I think it was 6. And was it the Serpent in the Rainbow? No, it wasn't. It wasn't Serpent in the Rainbow, but it was something that had to do with our culture. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't remember exactly what it was, but yeah, that's one of the I'll say cooler aspects of my mom and her parenting, bringing me up. Probably the thing that I love the best about it is she never restricted any of my media.
Oh man, my media
allowed me.
Mine was too.
the whatever movies or TV shows that I got into, music, none of that. So I
wasn't allowed to listen to
all
SWV.
genres. Really? Why?
Because they make side chick music.
Think
about the songs.
That's why I'm laughing. That is hilarious.
My mom was like, absolutely not. I remember one time I was singing En Vogue, Never Gonna Get It. She just goes, never gonna get what? And I was like, I don't know. And she took my Walkman away.
No!
I didn't even know what they were talking about. You're never gonna get, because I was a kid. But she was like, absolutely not.
Wow.
Oh man, I did. I was telling Tanya yesterday about how I wasn't familiar with like D'Angelo's Voodoo. Just like I knew I knew the main songs, and I was like, it's probably because he was a sexy man with like this shirt off on the thing. I was like, but on the other side, I had DMX who was covered in blood, like with no shirt on, and they're like, well, that's clearly not sexy. It's okay.
Oh, my mom walked in on me watching the Untitled video and lost her shit. Because she thought I was watching some kind of like very well soundtracked porn.
She's like, what channel is this on?
That's hilarious. You couldn't watch Eddie Murphy special. Yeah, see, even comedy shows. I do not remember exactly. That's what I be trying to tell them. They don't be listening to me either. I know.
Yeah, and we weren't allowed to watch House Party. I didn't see House
Party is so innocent.
I watched House Party with my mom. I think
we were only allowed to watch the dance scene, and that was it.
What?
I watched Comic View with my parents, and every time I laughed at a joke, they're like, "Why do you get that joke?" And I'd be like, like I literally could watch it as long as I didn't laugh.
Because you're a human that pays attention to things in the world.
They'd be looking at me
I want to
like,
hear that.
They'd be like, what do you understand about that? And I'm like, nothing.
They weren't American schooled, were they?
No.
Okay. Yeah. That's why. That's why.
College for my mom, but yeah, no.
Yeah, that's why. They didn't know that kids actually be hearing that shit in American schools all the time. So yeah, you come to a very big listen to that little laugh. Look at it.
I don't know what he's so happy about.
He's like, oh, I know what I'm happy about. Don't you worry about it, mama.
He's just happy to be here.
I be getting the jokes.
All right, and now he's off.
Bye, Garvey. Thanks for the cameo.
And I think he's gonna cry. He went to his crying corner.
It's gonna be so scary when he pops out of there in a few.
Why is he gonna cry?
I know. I don't know.
Why is there a crying corner?
There's a corner of the kitchen he goes to cry. Usually he wants snacks.
I mean, crying's healthy. So
I'm gonna give him a snack real quick.
All right.
Sorry.
He has you trained.
He's like, this is where I go to sit down. This is where all the food is.
And if I make this noise, Mom's gonna give me a snack.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love it.
Funny.
Look, kids are far smarter than people think, man.
They really are.
I've watched Baby Geniuses. All right, I know these little assholes have their own language. They know exactly what we're saying, but we don't know what they talking about anymore.
Mm-mm. They're so funny.
That's hilarious. See, and did you give him a snack? Now he's quiet and he's leaving. See,
he's smiling.
Came back. Yeah, can you see him?
I can see him smile.
so our consensus just now was, oh no, he totally has Tanya trained. He goes to the corner, he makes a specific noise at a certain frequency, and you get him a snack.
Yep.
That's it.
He absolutely has me trained.
I love it. I love it.
And he got his snack. Oh, he got a snack and now he's back, but he's just walking around eating it, so we're good for now.
Oh man. Okay, I'm sorry, Tiny Humans head.
Sorry. You're good.
Chat room.
No, my apologies.
We talked about Amanda Kruger. Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the disastrous hypnosis session.
Oh Jesus! Yeah, that's when Joey gets got.
That's what.
Can you imagine walking in on that room? Everybody's just laying on the floor,
asleep,
passed out,
and poor Joey is near death on the floor,
and nobody's paying attention to him.
The
like,
adults.
why didn't one of the adults stay awake?
Why did they all go? Understand? That's where I think Gordon really messed up. And again, he's new to this, so I kind of get maybe him making this mistake. But if you know that you're starting to believe what Nancy's been telling you, okay, let her be the guide going into this.
And you be there to
not
watch
look
for
at damn pendulum, and you watch. Let's see, and that's the thing. Isn't this is supposed to be to make sure Freddy doesn't get anybody while they're under? So how you gonna put everybody in the room under and no one's there to rouse the alarm? That makes no sense.
Right. Dr. Gordon should have been there. You see the slightest
he wanted to be
twitch.
the hero. He's still trying to play main man hero. He wants to be in there, so if something happens, he can come through and be the save. And
what happened? He got fired.
Immediately.
But you know what?
Immediately.
It was like one of those plot devices where it's like, okay, you're fired, and now you can go rogue.
Right.
It's just like the cop who gets fired and can now go do all the things he needs to do, like without the rules like holding him back.
And that's low key what happens, because he actually starts. He's actually really upset now, so he's fully invested in the actual help that these kids need now. So he's saying like we don't know, like where do we go next? What do we do? And Nancy's like, there's only one person that's going to be able to get us this last bit of information that we need, because Amanda told him this is what needs to be happened, that the demon needs to be put down. He actually needs to be properly buried on consecrated ground. But the only way you're able to find that is if you go and get the one of the guys that started it all, that did this whole thing to these kids. As Nancy's dad.
The effects on that were so funny when the skeleton was shoveling.
I was watching that whole thing. I was like, I need to pick Nikki's brain. Effects. Right, like Nikki, can you break that down for us?
What they had to do to make that happen? Yes, I don't know. Yes. I don't know, because I was looking at it trying to figure it out too, and I can't. I'm like, it wasn't CGI. I don't know.
No, it
was a caddy.
It's one of those things where you can see that the practical effects are so much better over time.
But that's
when you go back.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah. Practical effects always end up standing better than special effects.
Yeah. Sure. Okay. Hold on, real quick, just to explain what Peter's talking about. Okay, when me and Fandom do our reviews on DJ Wun Wun's channel. DJ does a small trivia section after every episode to see like what we remember, and he'll ask us something like, for House of the Dragon, one of his questions was like, what's the name of the handmaiden that was like in episode 2 in this scene here? Just random
Talia.
small shit.
Clearly, we need to write trivia questions together.
Right.
Because I was like, does he mean Talia?
No. He wouldn't know. He doesn't do questions like that for the big name characters because everybody's gonna remember Talia.
Diana.
Everybody's gonna remember Diana. But there's those other maidens in the background that don't really even get a line at all, but their name is said at one point in time and probably only ever said once, and that's the question that DJ will ask about. Like me and Fandom legit will go through and make notes about the littlest, stupidest thing. Like when we did She-Hulk, I actually took and wrote all, like I think there were about 10 or 11 different tweets that that they showed on screen, and I wrote down how many likes each one had, how many retweets each one had, because that's the type of question that DJ would ask. Like me and Fandom will have like a whole six-page notebook filled up with potential questions, and DJ, he only ever asks us like 7 or 8 questions, but it's little shit that you could easily miss. So we've taken to really liking the challenge of those short trivia sessions.
Well, I've got a couple for him because 2 things that stood out to me. Because we find Nancy's dad in the bar. One, he was drinking a Boilermaker. He had his beer and his shot,
and on duty.
Ooh, boiler room, Boilermaker. But he was also in a bar called Little Nemo's. And Little Nemo, I don't know if you guys remember that animated thing. It's Adventures in Slumberland. So it's also about a dream world.
Ah,
yeah.
See, I would not have known that.
Oh, I can't wait to do trivia again with you.
And Imagination Realm is also in a lot of those chats that we do with DJ. Yeah, that isn't exactly a question that DJ would ask. he gets us on, and a lot of the times we get. I think me and Fandom's track rate is at least probably about a 90-95%. Most times we get all the questions, but yeah, he gets us on the little shit.
I love
all
it.
The time. It's fun. It's fun. I don't know if I can get our schedule synced up, but yeah, I would definitely love to do a whole full trivia session with you guys and DJ on for Citadel Trivia at some point.
I think when we do in-person trivia, we should stream on Twitch again.
We could do that. I have to have that call, but yeah, we could. Yeah.
Quick question. Are you for sure doing the thing in a couple weeks, November? Do you know yet?
15th? I'm having a call about that later today, and yes, it looks like it.
Harvey.
Okay.
Sorry.
He's like, no, I need to interject myself back into this conversation somehow. Pay attention to me. Look at his little face. He's so cute. Okay, well, I might possibly maybe be able to make that happen. And if I can get there, I will definitely let y'all know.
That would be great.
Or I'll just pop up and then we'll go from there. But we will see how that works out. Otherwise, I'm going to shoot for New Year's because that's around my birthday.
I'll definitely be here for New Year's. Well, I could be in Boston. I could be in Boston, but most likely I'll be here. It depends on if I feel like driving back home. Which sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
I can dig it. All right, so poor little Joey gets kidnapped in this dream session, and this boils down to, again, Freddy's such a dick. Like, the movie legit could have just ended in complete tragedy here, and everybody could have got in that session because nobody was actually on guard through this whole thing.
Well, but Nancy had said to stay together, and he immediately separated them.
Immediately separated them. Yeah, because he's a master at this game. No, and what they're forgetting is while they are in a dream world, yeah, you can still tap into your dream powers, but you're in his dream world.
Yeah.
Right.
So you really need to be on your game when you're trying to navigate through this. You can't just be walking together in a group. No, this is like the one time some of my friends actually got me to go to a haunted house walkthrough. I took two of like my biggest friends that were with me. I said, no, I'm holding your hand and your hand. And we're walking in a straight freaking line. One of you in front of me, the other one of y'all behind me. I don't got this shit to do. Because nobody's gonna come out and accidentally get me on some nonsense. So you can't just go walking around. Just because you're close together doesn't mean you can't be separated.
Yeah.
And we saw that. He actually got them separated very easily.
And so quickly.
Because he knows.
They stepped in.
They do have, I mean, and that's also him being able to read his enemy. They do have a certain power when they're together, but once they're separated, he knows it's going to be too much work to actually go at them all together. So yeah, you got to separate them out, and he does that very quickly, and he almost neutralizes all of them even before they get close to where Joey is.
Yeah. So crazy.
And two of them don't make it out of that.
Oh man, poor Taryn. I think that I think that scene with Taryn
for her.
It's just like that whole scene might be the reason that I never did hard drugs. I was like, oh, they're gonna open up and haunt you and just like,
oh my God,
that creeped me out.
The sound.
That creeped me out so bad.
That's what it just looks so gross and disgusting, and you could see like the terror on her face, and really what she was feeling. Yeah, it wasn't even about Freddy at that moment. It's just that she's been working to get past all of that, and she was past it. Her only real issue now was dealing with this dream world bullshit.
Right.
And for him, and that's what Freddy does. He finds your greatest weakness and he uses that against you. And it's just such that, like, Taryn, I think just hit me the worst because she's had to do the most to try to pull away from her own personal demons and still try to battle him. And it's just,
I think maybe it's not necessarily your greatest weakness, but the thing that you've worked hardest, or that's your deepest desire, right? Her deepest desire is to stay clean because what's her name? Patricia Arquette's character, Kristen. Her deepest desire is like she wants a loving mom, right? Yeah. And so in that dream, she gets the mom who's nice to her and cares that
for a second.
Who cares? And then she gets beheaded.
Again, Freddy is a dick. He just comes.
Where's my bourbon?
Like, bitch, I asked you where the bourbon was. And her head is just sitting there like, damn it, every time I bring a man home, Kristen, you ruin it for me. Now here you are again. It's like, damn it, Freddy, shut up, you asshole.
Oh, Peter Griffin. I still think Gaiman got the Corinthian character from Freddy. That's actually interesting. The Corinthian has mouths for eyes.
Yeah. Good point. Also,
I'm not familiar. I have to check that out.
In the audiobook, I think it's voiced by Riz Ahmed.
Shout out to Neil Gaiman.
Shout out to Neil Gaiman because he is.
We saw him the other day.
I mean, and I saw those pics, and kudos because y'all were looking absolutely lovely. If y'all don't follow them on Instagram, you should totally be following them on Instagram.
Aww.
Just saying.
Thanks. It was good times.
It was really good times.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he did throw her head.
Yeah. He's so disrespectful. I think that's why I like Freddy. I was like, he's consistently disrespectful in a way that you just like, I can't believe you really did that.
All the time. The petty is super strong on God level, and he just does not give a fuck.
You think Freddy's good at sex? I feel like he's always flicking his tongue, so I feel like he probably likes to eat butt.
I have never considered that.
Oh, yeah, me neither.
I feel like it would get dangerous, and I just don't. Tanya. I feel like he just doesn't have the patience to be good at it.
I was gonna say, I don't know. I feel like he would get bored.
He'd probably just bite you on the. I forgot what language we can use on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't know.
Bite you on your coochie.
Okay, Nikki, you know German. Say something in German. I don't know. They usually don't track that.
Oh, mushy.
What?
Yeah, that's German for coochie.
I like it. It's very descriptive.
I used to know actually a good deal of German. in my younger years. But then I stopped having friends coming over from Germany that were exchange students, and I didn't get to practice it anymore. So totally lost
I used
it.
to be really good at Spanish, and I lost it.
Languages, for whatever reason, languages used to be a really good skill that I had. I was good at Spanish, good at French, because one of my cousins, well, a few of my cousins, their dad is Haitian, so they spoke French all the time, and he would be how I practiced, but he's a dick, so we had to get rid of him. So there went that, and I was getting ready to get into Latin by the time I got into high school, but then they stopped teaching Latin.
A friend of mine who is Eritrean, she was teaching me Tigrinya, and all I remember is whore and coffee. So,
I feel like
analyze that however you need to.
I find them both to be very useful.
But now I know Mushi.
Yep.
I do actually miss speaking German.
I can't.
I did talk to my one friend Sasha
on my Mushi.
Oh, I'll teach you all.
I cannot wait to say that in public.
I would love to relearn all of the things. So yes, Jedi Master.
Sidebar.
All right. I'm making a note of that too.
Boom.
That sounds like
Or coffee, all the things I need, right?
Yes, pretty much. I mean, it gets the points across, depending on the subject matter. But this last full sequence that we're in, it's down because of what happened with Joey, and they just think Joey's in a coma.
Mm-hmm.
So Nancy gets in, and Larry still cracks me up. Larry, Nancy knows. And
Cowboy Curtis.
I find this
Cowboy
to be
Curtis. God, we're so old.
Hello,
we are. Jesus. Everyone can date us now, damn it.
I know.
Oh well.
I know, especially me saying I watched Child's Play in 1988. So I'm old enough to remember 1988.
1988 is the only significant thing I remember about 1988 is that's when my one of my little sisters was born. My mom's other daughter. That's the only reason I remember 1988. That's it.
I'm saying you're talking about 80s movie because I watched the Care Bears movie recently, and it's related.
Countdown.
It's because Will reminded me of the Wizard in the Care Bears movie for a second.
Oh yeah.
And that shitty wheelchair that Freddy tries to get
to
get him.
Oh,
this wheelchair has been brought to you by the Dreadforce.
Absolutely.
Scary.
Absolutely. Like, we lost. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, rum. We lost. We lost. Poor Taryn to the Freddy needles, and now we have our resident wizard coming in to try to do his part. And this monstrous freaking chair that literally looks like it came out of a design that Ramsey Bolton made just comes chasing him down, a la Freddy. And
again, it's the whole, like, in his dreams he can walk. He accidentally paralyzed himself, I'm assuming, in a suicide attempt. Mm-hmm. And in his dreams he can finally walk again. And here comes Freddy with the murder chair.
See, and he even says, he was like, no, I know where I am right now. Okay, my legs are strong, and if you really want to battle, we can do that. And Freddy was like, well, I mean, yeah, you good while you here, I guess, but when you wake up, though, but he doesn't even try to wake him up at all. No, he just says, that line. I feel like that was a dumb line to have him say, because it's not about him waking up. You're battling him on the dream realm for a reason. So I feel like they should have gave Freddy something else to say at that point in time, because you're still about to go after this kid with this monstrous freaking chair. Mm-hmm. And even if he doesn't sit on it, it's as wide as the hallway.
You. Right. And it's
so he can't really get past it, and he does lose his legs for a little bit before he remembers, no, I am a fucking badass wizard, and I'm not gonna deal with this shit. And he gets him for a hot
We're
second.
not gonna take it.
and the spell works for a
Mine
hot
on an
second.
empty stomach.
Hashtag that. Get it trending. Get it trending, folks. It works for a hot second, but then, like I said earlier, magic doesn't really affect Freddy like that, and he just moves past. He's like, yeah, you know what? I don't believe in magic, you fucking nerd. And there goes, and we lose Will. We lose Will. So we only saw one funeral at the end of this, but it wasn't just that one person that died. And Nancy said, well, once we go in here, this is the final fight. If you die here, you die for real. You're not. And that's coming
the moment
back.
That's the moment I would have been like, all right, I'm gonna stand watch.
But those kids are so sleep deprived. I feel like you would have fallen asleep anyway. Because I wrote down earlier that I was like, man, meditation is so hard. But I was like, these kids are sleep deprived, so like, yeah, it would work easily. Because example, one time I was trying to meditate with Headspace, and they're like, bring your mind and quiet your mind and calm your mind. And I was like, okay. And then at like the 2.5 minute mark or something, they're like, let your mind go wild. And the first thing that came to my mind was peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly. And I was like, whoa, Nikki, what? No control.
Yeah, that's crazy. I love peanut butter jelly time. Thanks for bringing that back to me.
Yeah, I think your kids will love it too.
Okay, can I just say one random thing? Seriously, Nikki, I love your imagination. I love the way your mind works.
Oh, it's a dangerous place, believe me.
It is. I like to send Nikki my dreams just so she can like make stuff out of them.
I remember you
peanut butter jelly with a baseball bat. Thank you, Ms. Swift. Do the peanut butter jelly with a baseball bat. Like, what are you talking about?
Such are the antics, and if anyone was ever wondering why I heart Tanya and Nikki, this is why, because it's rare that I find souls that are ridiculous and nerdy and extra as I am, and here they are.
Like a giant tree,
bro.
Reaching out to the sky.
Can I say another costume idea? I just totally had. We could totally be the Sanderson sisters.
Yes.
Which one would I be? Because immediately my thought was the bimbo, but
was who?
The bimbo, because I have huge boobs.
Okay, that's not what I was thinking. Actually, your hair is what made me think about it. I was thinking of you as I was thinking of you as Winifred.
Yes, ooh. I could totally. Yes.
I'm gonna give you all of my orange hair stuff.
Please do, and then I'll walk down like this.
Oh, look! Another glorious morning.
I would love to be her.
I love
Winifred's a family name too, so I love it.
Oh,
there's multiple Winifreds in my family.
Go watch Hocus Pocus.
Make a note. We'll dress up like that for whatever movie we do next year.
Okay, yes. I'll do like the orange
write that
paint
down right now.
Yes, write it down.
Sanderson sisters.
Which one would you be, Alicia?
I don't know.
I mean, now that you've made me Winifred, Nikki's absolutely the bimbo.
I've got corsets for days.
Okay, can I be real for a second? I was totally thinking that too.
That Nikki was the bimbo.
Not calling you a bimbo. I just saw you as Sarah.
I've been rendered.
No. Honestly, I was thinking of putting myself in Mary's position just because you're gorgeous. So of course you would.
I would have been anyone.
Nikki, you're gorgeous.
Thanks.
This is what it is. I mean, Tanya, you don't even need like a wig. You just got to put some hair color in there.
No, that's what Nikki was saying. It's already like the right shape for it.
It's totally already. It's already there. And Nikki has 1,001 corsets. So
I do.
I mean, she does. And she also has exceptional breasts. In case anybody was wondering about them.
I will agree with
I have two petticoats right here.
She has literally has a hoop skirt.
So. Look, she already
and
has
an A-line.
She already has the damn outfit there. Boom.
I've got 2 actually.
Okay.
So we gotta. Have you watched the second one?
I did.
I have.
Get you
I
some
liked it.
Roombas.
It wasn't as good as the first one, but I did enjoy it, and I thought the skateboarding Roombas was hilarious. I love that.
I kind of liked it. I think I kind of liked it more than the first one.
Think so?
I really liked it too. I liked the camaraderie of the little girls. I really enjoyed that.
Here's a question, because I know y'all be busy. If you're up for
Yes.
part 2 spooky season,
Yes.
though, we can totally review.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I will put that down.
Funny thing that happened today.
I'll hit y'all up about that next week. We'll work it out.
Funny thing that happened today in my family group chat is my sister Jackie
You have a
held
family
up.
group chat?
Yeah, we do. And
I
she
have a
held
cousin
up.
group chat. It's shenanigans.
Oh, we got a cousin one too. It's like
Yeah, me too.
she sends a picture of herself holding up a broom in 2 pieces. And my sister Bess immediately texts, "So what are you gonna ride now?" It made my whole morning.
I love that.
Oh, that is really funny.
I love that so much.
Great. But yes, we're of course we're down to do Hocus Pocus.
That's hilarious.
too.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well,
We can
see,
do them
because I try not to take up folks' time too much, because, like, I mean, I'm somewhat busy sometimes in real life, but I know, like, Nikki, your skills keep you freaking busy all the time. You got kids, Tanya, so
Man,
I try to limit the invites that I send to
Fuck them
people, because I
kids.
don't want to. I mean, okay, yeah, I get you, but. And also, I did that. That was like my hashtag that I put in when I tweeted this out that we were doing this. What was hashtag
team
fuck them kids.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love
lock
it.
them in a room.
Because I'm sorry, I respect Nancy. I heart her character. She's my fave. Hey,
Shout out to
chat
her
room
curls.
auntie. Absolutely. Okay. See, I've come to terms that the reason that I like Nancy so much is I realized that I probably had a crush on her way back in the day.
I like her
Kid.
roller set. I'm gonna
Me
be
too.
honest.
But, yo, the curls
Yeah.
was working.
Beautiful.
Okay, they was
I need,
working.
hey, white women watching this, I need y'all to bring back the roller
Please.
set because it is
Please.
a look.
Because that
okay?
was a look.
Yeah.
It is a look. Please bring back the 80s roller set. I'm
That
begging
works
you
for
all.
y'all, and I need y'all to bring that back, please. And thank you. We
Please.
appreciate it. We
Mhm.
appreciate that. But yes, and it's one of those things that is just awesome. So let's get that started.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm sorry, I had to finish my notes to make
No, you're
sure
good. No, you're good.
we're on. And I don't forget. To
Even
do
though I
things.
said fuck them kids, I did do kid stuff today already.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you can do that. You can do that. The kids are important, but would y'all? Here's a question, and this is actually in my notes. If you were Nancy, or let's leave Nancy out of it. If you were any other random adult though, and you did figure out what was happening, would you be jumping into this dream realm bullshit to try to help these kids?
Somebody else's kids, I'm gonna be honest, the answer is no.
Right.
My kids, it would be Astral Plane Machete Gang. Shout out to you, Kojo, if you happen to watch this. Astral Plane Machete Gang to protect my kids.
Damn.
Facts. That's exactly how
See,
I would.
Other kids,
Here's
it's
the thing.
Other kids, however,
FTK.
I really want to say that I wouldn't, but I know myself and I'd be involved.
yeah, you are.
Yeah.
You are.
Just because you're a good person and I'm
It's
not.
good. I sprained my ankle last weekend to protect a puppy.
You really
So-
are.
See,
Yeah.
I would have been having a puppy funeral, but it's because you're a good person. You're a good person, and I am not, and it's just something I have to make peace
Yeah.
with.
I think you guys are both
Nikki-
fantabulous people.
Nikki is a if you I'll say it. Tanya, you don't have to co-sign, but I'll say it. If you want to choose one of the three of us that's going to actually come and help you in a very dangerous situation, Nikki is probably who you should call first. Because again, y'all know I heart y'all. I heart the people. You know, I have the Lord Commander title for a reason. I will always come and lead the army if it's really necessary. But if it's on some extracurricular shit, AK might have to sit back and think about it first.
It'll be me,
before we
and
back-
I will
we do
keep a
this.
level head about it.
Listen, I have my phone on automatic D&D, so you wouldn't even be able to reach me after a certain hour.
This is true.
I have my phone on automatic
Tanya
D&D
after 10.
from between 10 p.m. and 8
Okay, see,
a.m. I
you
will
know
not
what?
get your calls. You better call Jesus.
I
Call
mean,
911.
not even phone calls. I know not if I'm looking for an answer at least within the next hour. I know not to message Tanya at all. Oh, there they go. I was wondering when they would show up. Okay, look here.
69XXX.
Look, I have been telling y'all
With all that
for
coochie
the
talk.
longest.
mushy.
No, okay, see, but here's the thing. Though.
Mushy makes me lose control.
Loris, sir, our good master of whispers, Loris has changed the game though. Okay, it's not about these hot girls anymore. Okay, it's about the foots.
Are you saying I should show my foot right now?
Step your game up.
Halloween.
Okay? If you ain't showing the foots,
I'm wearing socks. That would be too weird. You don't get free foot from me.
If you're not talking about the foots, nobody's here for it. We don't care about them girls. Okay, so
and I don't believe you're hot. So there's that.
You wasting your time here. I'm just saying. but literally though, we've actually, this is a separate bingo card. We've had like me and all of the crew. We've had the sex bots chasing us for like the past 3 weeks. Coming into our chats, it's very strange and weird how they show up.
Peter Griffin.
It only happened to us like
somewhere. Loris is like awesome.
Loris is like nice. We've only gotten sex bots once. We've only gotten them once.
Well, we need to step their game up.
One time my husband was on a Zoom where he was DJing and like his mom and family like came to watch, and some guy hacked like Zoom bombed and opened up his entire butthole.
Oh God, yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
And like he had to prepare for it because he immediately opened it like this wide.
Like,
so it means he'd been like prepping.
Why would
you can't just open your butt like that?
That's
I don't
crazy.
understand the people that do stuff like that. Honestly,
and he was old.
Why?
He was old. He wasn't like a young kid.
I get so lonely.
That's exactly what it was. He was bored.
Look into my colon.
Oh my God.
Gaze and be amazed by the strength and size.
Wait a second. I gotta get my lighting somewhat right. It's already starting to get dark here. Winter is coming.
Man. Winter is coming.
Here too. I should close my blinds.
All right.
Once it gets dark, everyone can see inside my apartment.
There we go. Okay, I just need to be able to see the little bit of notes that I decided to take.
Wait, I have a question about the movie.
Yes.
So you remember when he said that we're gonna hide him, that no one would be able to find him, but then they threw him in a Cadillac.
And then they put it in a junkyard.
In the red caddy of all the cars, like there were all these random Volkswagen.
But like
Beetles
he's also
and shit.
been there for like 20 years.
I know.
Like,
but I
what were they
going to
do with those cars?
See, and that was my thought, because one,
when are you going to junk them?
If you want to put him someplace that nobody's going to find him, why would you pick a junkyard to do that? And two, is this junkyard just a random car landfill just waiting to happen? Because why are they still sitting there?
A long time.
What is the population of Springwood?
It's been like 8 years.
It's been a long time since y'all killed this.
No, I'm sorry. It's been like 20 something years since they killed him.
Yeah.
And he's still in that same trunk that you put him in.
Like cremate him. What were you guys thinking?
Junkyards were popular in the 80s. Okay.
Spread his bones apart.
True enough.
What'd you say, Nikki?
The imagination realm. Said junkyards
also,
were popular.
Imagination realm. I almost slipped and said your actual name. I don't know if you want that out there in the public though, but
she
has a really cool name.
Tell us what it is. Tell us. Everybody knows my name.
I will tell. Well, that's because you came on here with that name though. Her name says imagination realm.
I know. Is it my real name though?
I had to. Yes, it is.
It's my real name.
I had to catch my cousin because the after show that we did for the finale of House of the Dragon, she was on with this because we made it a family affair. Meeks' cousin was supposed to be there, but it didn't work out. But she said my actual first name, and I had to stop the chat like, hey.
I feel like I might have during this stream.
A-K-Nies and AK, not what you just said.
I kind of think I might have during this stream.
Might have what?
said your name.
My first name, really? I didn't hear it. If you did,
I feel
don't
like
say
I
it again.
probably have.
Yeah, don't do that.
Jessica.
Have I told you what my actual first name is?
Girl, I know your first name. I know your middle name. We had a whole conversation about it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Because
I didn't say. I said your middle name, not your first name.
Okay, yeah, because I told you I have two middle names.
I said I think I said your middle name.
Okay, well she put it up. Yes, her name is Carlisa.
Hey, Carlisa.
And I just think that's a really pretty name.
It is a very pretty name.
And apparently, because of just me and my antics, I didn't remember that we had talked earlier, and she is Guyanese, and I forgot that until last night when we talked.
I like to call people like whatever names come to mind. I call Nikki Nikisha constantly.
You know what that is? That is a trait that all West Indian people share.
Nikki's name is not Nikisha.
We will give you a nickname whether you want it or not, and it's not even going to be just one. You might have 5 or 6 different nicknames. It don't matter. And you better answer to each one of them, because all you'll hear if you complain about it is, I ain't changing my molds. That's it. Plain and simple.
So true. So true.
And I love our culture. That's why I bring it up all the time. But back on topic again, tangent again, folks. Sorry. Not sorry, but we are in the final fight now. We're in the final fight, and again,
it's
Kincaid.
The final countdown.
Kincaid comes
the wine
through
is now
with
kicking in.
No, see, okay, look. Why is the rum always gone?
Can we talk about
you know what?
Outfit?
Go ahead and talk about that, because I need to refill.
Take it away. But I don't have any more wine, so it's gonna be rum.
I'm at the end of the bottle, but
wait, didn't you say you were a mean? Wait, hold on. You said you were a mean rum drinker. Don't be mean on my stream.
I know. That's why I'm gonna abstain.
Okay, well, sip it. Okay, don't.
I'm not a mean rum drinker. I'm a fertile
this is.
rum drinker.
It's hearsay. I don't know. I feel like the source from which I received this information was negatively biased against me.
I mean, the last time I was drunk on rum,
gonna ask
roughly 10 months later, I had a baby.
When we're off screen.
Sure.
Last time I was drunk on rum, roughly 9 months later, I had a baby. So.
I mean, that doesn't sound like it was a bad time, though.
It was a great time in the moment. But now I got a baby. He's walking around here.
He's adorable.
He's got his own mind and shit.
Yeah, he stopped after I gave him some crackers. He stomped off to his room.
He's like, "That's all I needed you for."
Yeah.
Oh, I want a new drink too. Oh, you know what? I have Aperol and
Would you like me to pour some on my laptop for you?
Whoops!
My shit just starts sparking.
Choking. We promise that we're serious people.
Sometimes.
Okay, you know what? Hold on. I'm gonna go get an Aperol grapefruit.
All right, I'll entertain everyone.
Entertain.
What would you guys like to hear me talk about?
Okay, yeah. Well, I gotta go do something else too. So I'm gonna mute Tanya. Take it away.
I'm gonna open my cardigan and flash you all. All right, guys, what do you want to talk about? Now I have the mic to myself, and the ladies are gone refilling their cups. Tell me in the chat, what should we discuss? That's completely unrelated to Freddy Krueger, or it could be Freddy Krueger. Your choice. Let's talk about candy corn. Do you guys like candy corn? I love candy corn, especially the pumpkins. Now it's awkward because I'm just here talking to myself. Shall I make it more awkward? And just sit here in silence until they come back? I think I will. I am binging. I'm about to start binging Sandman because I listened to the first audiobook. Candy corn is not awful. Candy corn is manna from heaven. Candy corn pizza sounds like the work of the devil.
Wait, what? I just heard devil.
Freddy
me,
worm was originally a
corn
pink fleshy
pizza?
color. No, that's the work of the devil.
That sounds like the work of the devil. Ew.
Something that I actually wanted. Ooh, I lost 3.
I saw Freddy worm was originally a pink fleshy color. That would have been I don't know, would that be better or worse?
What?
Freddy being a pink fleshy color. I hate the word flesh.
Huh, as opposed to just whatever
as opposed to being the burns
as opposed to
that he is
Alicia's
now?
like AK's background.
Oh.
Oh yeah, let me.
I think it's all disturbing.
Background.
Peter, you didn't spoil the Corinthian for me because I listened to the Sandman graphic novel recently, so I know who the Corinthian is. Sounds too penisy. Yes, it does sound like fat pink mast.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay.
Which I hope everyone understands that reference and I don't just sound crazy.
Oh boy.
If not, I can explain it, but
I think I need an explanation. But just because
I think I need an explanation as well.
When Samuel first has sex with
right
on the ship, George describes his penis as a fat pink mast, and he regrets it to this day.
Oh boy.
Oh man.
Yeah, Freddy would just look like a gaping dick, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
We need all the things.
Speaking of,
I was wondering.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's just like because at the time that this movie came out, and people were still like, I don't know how I don't do church anymore. For multiple reasons. But I'm wondering if Freddy could have been, I don't know. Like, I feel like they relied so heavily on the religious symbolism to make it scary. Like lots of movies do, like The Exorcist and stuff. And do those things still work today?
I mean, we have that series that involves the nun that has been working. And I think there's...
Oh, is that the one they're like, can a woman be an exorcist? I saw a preview for it on TV.
Something like that. I don't remember what the exact name of that series is, but I think there's a lot of parallels to be found with horror and the Catholic Church. I mean, I don't know for anyone that might be Catholic that's listening to this. Apologies if your feelings are hurt or if you hate it, but it's just my observation. In my younger years, growing up in Brooklyn, me and my cousin actually went to a Catholic school, and one of the things that we had to do twice a week was go across the street to the church and go to service and sit through, watching their choir practice and whatnot. And I don't know if y'all's Catholic churches that you've been to were like that one, but Catholic churches are very scary to me because there's a bunch of candles everywhere. There's no actual real lighting, so there's a bunch of dark corridors that are along the sides of where all the pews are, and things just always felt weird to me walking into that building. And I don't know if that's anything that had to do with anything, ghostly or demonic or whatever. It just, I knew that I was never comfortable in that building. And it makes me think of Eddie Griffin did a stand-up show a while back where he was talking about Catholic churches and also about the Omen movies. And
Omen. We should put that on the list too.
Yeah, and he was always like, the choir would always come in like, oh, oh. And it always sounds like some weird ass freaking chant that some damn Satanist would be in a circle, chanting in the middle of a forest or something. And that's supposed to be your choir? I don't know, man.
Now you mentioned the Omen, all that's replaying in my head is, your mother was a jackal.
If you've not watched the original, Stigmata. That's actually another good movie.
I remember Stigmata.
That is a very good movie. Okay, you know what? I'm putting that in. Okay, we're
Omen and Stigmata on.
We're gonna have to do this for the next 5 years.
That's fine.
All right.
That's fine with me. So I'm not Catholic. I grew up in a super Catholic town, but I'm not Catholic myself. And my mom went to Catholic school too, but she's not Catholic. So my experience,
My,
all of my
my parents
experience.
weren't either. I have no idea why me and my cousin were at that Catholic school.
Well, I know
No
my
clue.
nieces go to Catholic school because it's a really good school. So, it could be that. But so all of the things I know about Catholicism are all like secondhand from my classmates and my friends from my hometown. But I did go to a Catholic funeral once, and all I was confused
never
about
had
was
that experience.
all the standing up and sitting down. And then they passed the goblet around and everyone was drinking from it, and I was like, hard pass. Like I had no idea what was going on. And it was really short, and it was also
there you go.
and it was also really short. Like it was very I grew up Baptist and sometimes Pentecostal. So I'm not used to short sermons. A Catholic
1 hour tops, unless it's Easter Mass.
Barely an hour.
Palm Sunday, Easter Mass, it's an hour. And like I was an altar server, I was in youth group, I did all the things, and both my parents were Catholic.
See me and my maybe that's why my aunt sent us there, because I don't think my mom was with me, because a lot of us West Indian kids, more background AK info, that we're not always with our parents sometimes.
Oh yeah, no.
Sometimes,
I lived with my grandparents
our grandmas.
for years.
I lived with my grandma for a few years. Lived with my aunts for a few years while my mom was working. She was doing like in-home healthcare. So
my mom was doing. My mom was getting her master's.
Yeah,
and so I lived with my grandparents, so she could study.
So we when I say AK is always about the pack, I mean that, and that's why it is, because I grew up
all about
in that
community
type of life. Exactly. Yep. It literally it's a saying in America, but it's a lifestyle for West Indians. It takes a whole community to raise a child.
Sorry, this is like kind of an aside, but it's why it annoys me when people say that the nuclear family doesn't work. People take it as like, oh, they just want to get rid of fathers. And it's like, no.
Yeah, no.
The whole point is the nuclear mom, dad, and kids isn't enough. You got to bring in aunties,
you need
whether they're
more.
blood or not. I have like a rotation of aunties who come watch my kids because I have no family here.
Yeah.
And they're all the aunties. And if without your extended family, chosen or blood
family, you can't make it.
You can't do anything. You can't make it. So down with the idea of the nuclear family, and like let's open up to community.
Absolutely. That is a fact. That is why I always say when I meet folks on these YouTube streets that I know fit my vibe and I fit their vibe, I make it a point to keep those folks around me, like these two lovely ladies that I keep hanging out with here. I absolutely make it a point, because that is how I grew up. That's right. They're my pack. They're part of my pack now. Whether they want it to be or not, they here. So
we are happy and honored.
Yes. One of the people who babysits my kids the most is someone I met on Facebook. And it turned out we had mutual friends, but I met her on Facebook, and we became friends and realized she was already kind of part of my community based on our mutual friends. Even Nikki and I, we knew each other for years before we actually became real life friends. Like we knew each other for I don't even know how long.
Yeah.
Since like I don't know, 2007 probably 2008.
And that's like the same thing with me and JD, and y'all have built streams with me with JD, and you see how we interact. Like that's my brother, for real. So that's just how it goes. So when you meet, I will encourage everyone again. And aside from the movie, when you meet folks like that in your lives, keep them close. Because
can you highlight Imagination Realm's comment?
Yeah.
Nuclear fam isn't natural to us. It absolutely makes sense.
Yeah.
Humans need community.
Community.
You think about, like, for instance, you think about childbirth. It's like the aunts, the sisters, the grandmothers are all together to help you get through it.
Yep.
It's not just you and a doctor.
Hospitals and nurses and doctors were not always a thing. Okay. That's not that was the specific goal of the midwife. And actually, because Thrones bleeds into everything, to bring it back to Thrones, when it comes to me and Meeks and Lady D were talking one time when it came to, we were talking about Emma and how she gave birth. How was childbirth still that terrible to go through when you had old Valyria with all of that knowledge they had on things, and you had those midwives and all those come over from Valeria, and that's like a profession. When if in that day and age, if that's what your mama did, that's what you were gonna grow up to do. Right. So you were training in that.
I do believe
all of that knowledge is passed down.
I do believe they did lose a lot of knowledge though from old Valeria, so that could have been some of what was lost.
That's true. That's true.
Midwives rule. They sure do.
They do. I mean, I saw this article, midwives and doulas, right? Because I saw this article. It was like when midwives and doulas were in charge of childbirth, that the infant mortality and mother mortality rate was much lower than when it became taken over by men who were being doctors.
Yeah, I had a doula for my first pregnancy.
Shout out to the doula.
That's not by accident.
Oh, hey. I had a doula for my first pregnancy, but I didn't have a midwife for medical reasons. But with my second, I didn't get a doula until late in the pregnancy. She was more a doula in training.
That is a new term for me. Please explain.
What doula is? A doula is like a person who guides you through your pregnancy and your birth. Okay. So they're not a midwife. They can't make medical decisions. But for me, especially with my first child, Nikki knows my doula, Sue.
Yeah.
I met Sue when I was pretty newly pregnant, and she was just a support for me because I didn't know anything. As much as you think you know from reading and being around other people, once you're in it, you don't know anything. And so she was a source of information. She was a source of support. And then when I was giving birth, for example, I had a nurse who didn't like the smell of lavender and was complaining about it.
What Peter just said.
Oh, yeah. Thinking midwives were witches. Right. Yeah. Anything to just murder some women, right?
And anything of a woman actually knowing what they're talking about. No, we can't have that.
Right. So my doula, she stepped in for this nurse who didn't like the smell of lavender and made her leave. And they had to send me another nurse because she was using lavender to help me stay calm. And it's like little things like that, as far as just your surroundings.
Being someone to advocate for you.
Right. She advocated for me, but she also helped me through the birth. So she helped me with my breathing. Okay. She helped me with my pushing. And then the midwife was actually delivering the baby and making medical decisions, if that makes sense. Yeah. So a doula isn't like medical. It's more support and guidance. Right. And the midwife is the one who actually
like. Can you highlight the imagination realm comment?
Realm saying? Which one?
She gotta go. You don't like lavender.
Demon. No, absolutely. And sorry, I know this is so far from our thing. It was so annoying though, because Sue's like massaging me with lavender and letting me smell it to help me stay calm through my contractions.
Yeah, it's naturally a calming agent. Yeah.
Right. And I labored at home before I got to the hospital. So I was like in advanced labor by the time I got to the hospital. And if you don't know, it's immense pain. It's the worst pain I've ever experienced in my life. And here comes this lady. She's like, I just don't like the smell of lavender. And Sue turned around and she's like, well, it's not about you, is it? And I was like, and I'm in too much pain to come up with a snarky comment. And then my husband has no idea what's going on. He's trying to just support me. And so having this third person there who's been through this, who knows what she's doing to advocate for me. She also advocated me when I had a horror nurse who wouldn't let me feed my baby because I wasn't breastfeeding.
What?
Yeah, that turned into a formal complaint with the hospital. Yeah. So like for the first day, my baby didn't eat.
That's a lawsuit right there.
Yeah. I mean, Sue advocated for me for that too, because it's like, people say breast is best and Sue said fed is best.
Yeah, seriously.
There it is.
Yeah, I don't understand people that have that mindset. Like,
it was a lactation nurse. It was a lactation nurse, and she was absolutely horrible, and I had to file a formal complaint with the hospital. But that's so absurd. Wild aside from what we've been talking about.
Immediately sus.
Not necessarily. Imagine Freddy is your child, and you're Amanda Kruger.
See, and that is why, and that actually that's a good segue. That brings us back. That's why I said any time you see Amanda Kruger show up, that's when you know, shit is real, and we need to shut down whatever antics he is pulling in this movie.
So basically, you get Fred
right now.
Basically, you get Fred, and you know what? I'm calling your mama.
Right.
Hello, Miss Amanda.
Miss
Amanda. Freddy's wilding again.
Freddy over here doing all of the things again. Can you?
Freddy's acting out.
Like Tanya, you have to watch some of the later movies because they show her giving birth to him, and it is.
I see. I haven't
It's
seen that one either.
No,
I watched the one with Kelly Rowland and was just completely
No.
I don't even count
that. Doesn't count. It's not canonical. Get it out of here.
Anything after Wes Craven's New Nightmare don't count.
Yeah.
Ooh, can you highlight Imagination Realms' most recent comment? I fully agree. Doula should be used more in postpartum and in loss. I had a postpartum
because
doula.
it sounds like that person will be very useful.
I mean, and the thing is with like, helpful. I had a postpartum doula. I wasn't comfortable with having her do overnights, but she literally, when I had milk ducts, she literally came over and massaged my breasts to like let the
that can be
unblock the ducts and like get the milk.
For anyone that doesn't know what that's like I've never experienced that because I've never been pregnant or had a kid, but a few of my aunts had that issue, and the cramping pain that they would tell us about, it was
so bad
that's a lot to have someone that knows can come in and can actually do
unblock it for you
and unblock it. That is a great help.
It was so bad that you can see them through my skin. It was these like lumps of just trapped milk. It literally could see it through my skin. It was the worst pain. And she had to come over, and it was painful, but she helped me like basically massage the milk out. Not me shaking my head like anyone.
And also shout out to the homie OTDA. DA is
OTDA,
one of my longest homies. I consider him part of the wolf pack also on these YouTube streets because we just vibe like that. And he's awesome. So I don't know if you're still out backing. And my boy's been like, he was like trekking through the mountains for like the past few months on and off. So hopefully you're home and you're safe. I hope you had a great adventure. You should like totally tell us about it sometime. Yeah, it's black ducks.
They are.
From what I've seen, they were.
I do feel like though I missed out on an opportunity to be XO Milkmaid on OnlyFans. I really missed out. I was too focused on the black ducks.
Look, we had a whole marketing plan in place.
I'm just saying though. Who says that you still can't? I mean, I don't have any more milk. No disrespect. No, okay, you don't necessarily need milk. You still have like all of the lovely huge breasties.
Yes, my cups runneth over.
I mean, you can absolutely still have an OnlyFans. Times 7, times 10. Okay. Well,
Nikki, remember James was supposed to. Our friend James was supposed to manage our OnlyFans together, where we just read fantasy stuff in lingerie.
Yeah.
I guess we could still do it.
The holidays are coming up. I am
really upset that you put that picture in my head right now. I'm just saying because I have no visuals for that. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I would appreciate that. Just saying.
Wait.
And I've heard tales of Nikki and this vampire voice that she be talking about in y'all streams, but I've never heard the vampire voice, so I don't know.
I mean, if we're pulling out fans, Nikki.
Ooh, yes. I'm mad that mine can't be.
Look, because I don't have the background. DA, this is why. This is why.
What links?
We be right here. He already knew what I was thinking. I didn't even have to say it.
What would we call it though? What would we call our OnlyFans?
Taking suggestions starting now.
Bear in mind, our podcast is 1001, and our book club is Wine on an Empty Stomach. So I feel like you got to kind of play with those
What did you just think of?
I'm just gonna drink. I'm just gonna drink.
No, I kind of want to know.
Bullshit. You can't have that reaction and then not deliver, ma'am.
I'll put in a private chat once I work it out.
Okay, see, it's I was gonna blame DA, but no, that's really just selfish me and me liking ladies. Like I already told Tanya, I think Tanya has one of the sexiest voices on YouTube right now.
Really? Why,
I mean,
you.
I'm just saying. Okay, see, and this is why we said, actually, I think it was on the stream, the New Year's stream I did with Nikki, where we're talking about Monero. Like you, Monero, and Gray Area have like the best voices.
Maybe I
Like,
should do
and
phone sex.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna pretend like
know-
a
I
little
do
chill
know
just
of-
didn't go up my spine hearing you say that just now at all. Just
I do know a phone sex operator, and I could probably get her to like lock me in it. And I will say,
Ooh, let's do a
1,000 fans in
workshop.
one.
I like it.
No, like I'm not even kidding. I know a phone sex operator, and she could probably like give us tips to get this popping. And I promise you, my husband does not care if there's money coming in.
I was about to say there as long as there is a check. I don't
does
know.
not
I
care.
don't know. I
He
don't
fully
know.
he
We would
fully
like our
supported.
donuts to be
Okay,
funded.
wait. On a slight serious tangent when it comes to that, I'm gonna give a shout out to Amaranth. If y'all don't know who she is, you can look up the recent events that have happened with her and her OnlyFans. Her hopefully soon to be ex-husband is a piece of shit. And there was, I'm not gonna get into the full controversy, but y'all can go in and find out very easily on Google what just transpired. And I'm very glad that you're safe, my lady, and you're good. And I really hope that you get to de-stress and take some time off from that bullshit situation that asshole has had you in for years.
Well, if we're shouting out sex workers,
Yes.
shout out to Cinnamon Love. She's the one who got us started with trivia.
And yeah, and I think I started following her after one of the things I saw that she had tweeted that
and
you
I
had done.
probably
I don't remember
never
what it
mentioned.
was.
I probably never mentioned that she was a sex worker. And so
Well,
you were in for a surprise.
I gathered that after I started following her, and I support it. I
She's
support
a bump in her followers.
Look, I'm here for all of the ladies doing all of the things.
but no, she
gets
really
them
is the
check.
one. Yeah, she was really the one who set us up to do
trivia.
To do trivia.
That's awesome.
And we're
That's
planning
totally
an
awesome.
episode dealing with a certain subsect of small folk. We're working on it with her.
Yeah.
And,
Nice.
you know, she's really come through a lot she's not even a Thrones fan. She's just
Yeah.
a really, really good friend. And so, you know, shout out to her.
And that's the love that I love to see. That's the community right there.
Yeah. Oh, the nun movie, the nun movie that we were talking.
Yes.
I was talking. Pray for the devil.
Pray for the devil.
Rey.
There's also a whole like monsterverse around that. It's those movies that what's my girl's name? Vera Farmiga is in. There's a series, not really supernatural demon verse maybe, but it's a whole line of these different movies that are connected, like Annabeth, that doll.
Oh, Annabelle,
all those movies connected, and I think the movie with the nun that I was thinking about are also connected to that same universe. So
Imagination Realm said, who is a sex worker that does trivia? Cinnamon Love. Cinnamon Love, Cinnamon with an S. She more so. Go ahead.
Hold on. I believe both of you guys should have. Yeah, both of you guys have a wrench because you're under 1,000 eyes and one in the chat. If you want to post her link for Twitter, you can put it in the chat on YouTube.
She more so managed our trivia than actually participated in it.
That's it. Thank you, Miss Swift. The Conjuring.
Yes.
Okay. I'm too afraid to watch the.
I don't need to watch it. I don't need to watch it. I've seen the trailers and I've seen other people review it. That's how I have the knowledge of it. That's it. I'm not watching those movies at all.
Okay,
so I like sleeping.
Let me ask you guys a question. Hereditary.
Nope.
Okay. I really want to watch it, but I'm too afraid to watch it by myself. I need a buddy.
Those are the movies that I just read the wiki on.
Exactly. Like if you want to do it, I can totally set up a watch party to watch stuff. We can sync up online. I can do that, but I wouldn't be. But you could actually go and sit next to Tanya and y'all could like cuddle, under a blanket to help each other. I can't supply that part.
The only thing I know about Hereditary is that my brother watched it the night before he moved into an apartment by himself. And he said it's the worst thing that he ever did. He was like, that was a big mistake.
See, my plan.
Go ahead, real quick. I'm not logged into YouTube, so I put her Instagram. I put her Instagram in the private chat.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, I got you. Thank you.
So yeah, Cindy's
Yeah,
really great.
I've not interacted with her personally, but I do see a lot of her tweets. So, and I've been quite happy with the content that she posts.
Yeah, and
Right,
she's
so
she's
there it
like
is,
our
guys.
biggest supporter. Like she
Yeah.
is literally the reason we got to do in-person trivia.
That's awesome. That's so awesome. And my fingers are crossed. Like literally, the only reason that I even have spare fundage now, another AK aside, because of the health issues that I have. There's some very serious procedures that I'm getting ready to have to go through. That I gave Nikki the whole rundown because she asked, and it was a lot.
Yeah,
It was a lot. It was a lot. You probably weren't expecting it to be that serious, but I wasn't lying. You know, that night that I had sent you that message when I said shit was about to go down.
Yeah.
It literally is half a miracle that I'm sitting here and able to do this stream. And if I can get to these last few procedures and work all that out, then I'll have a lot more years on the table, pretty much. But I was
to the liquor store.
yes, you are. Yes, you are. Because the rum is about to be almost gone for me too again. So, and that is the sound of an almost empty bottle. I know that sound very well.
It's done.
That resonance.
But no, like one of the reasons I have the spare fundage to do this is because a lot of folks, and this is one of the perks of having a government job, is I was able to get in some emergency programs to get funding that would help me cover things while I'm going to be out for the surgery and procedures that I need. So that frees up a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit of the fundage, so I can hopefully get to New York for a weekend and hang out with not just my family, but also be able to see my homies here and chill for a weekend, because AK needs a fucking vacation, dude. It's been a rough past 2 years. I mean, outside of COVID and lockdown, like just me personally having to deal with all this fuck shit and actually worry about being able to walk down the block and breathing without passing out it's been one of the biggest fears of my life, because that probably if I go down the list of things that I fear the most is not being able to see something coming and defend myself if something bad could happen, and just absolutely passing out in the middle of the sidewalk. That's how would I be able to protect myself? And let's say, and I don't live in an unsafe neighborhood, but shit could happen at any given time. You never know. So it's that's where my head's been for like the past few months. When you see me being sporadic on YouTube, that sometimes is usually a good sign of random shit that's happening. So House of the Dragon was actually a very good distraction and gave me some time to actually hang out with not only my ladies here, but all of my other awesome YouTube friends that were guests throughout the season on my channel. And again, thank you to both of y'all. I'm glad you were able to make it.
Well, we're into prolonging spooky season because we can engage in the eternal debate of whether Nightmare Before Christmas is a Halloween or Christmas movie. Same thing with Gremlins.
Both.
Gremlins
also both.
Yep.
Because I watched both.
Wait, are you guys Gremlins fans?
Yes.
Yes.
Can we put that on the list too?
Yes.
Yes.
Yay!
I just watched it last week.
Dude, I watch Gremlins even when it isn't Halloween or Christmas. I just love those movies. I don't know why. I'm weird like that. I don't know.
Gremlins is my childhood. I hear that.
Exactly. My whole ass childhood.
I literally call my kids my mogwais. So
Mogwai.
I'm like, look at you, little mogwai. Especially
Don't
the
feed
smaller
them after
one.
midnight.
Yeah, the smaller one is the real mogwai.
Do you wait? Do you still call them little enemy?
Yes. Especially late at night. I'm like, go to sleep, little enemy.
I'm not going to go into a full explanation of what that means, but if you want to find out why Tanya calls her kids little enemy, go over to the 1000 Eyes in One channel. Links, all of their links, website, Twitter, Insta, YouTube, all of that, Facebook even, in the description already for your convenience, and check out the Broken Earth trilogy discussions that they did, and you will see why Tanya will wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and look at her son and say, "Hello, little enemy."
Hello, little enemy.
Absolutely, and honestly,
the imagine. Can you highlight the imagination?
I mean, that's what I always say. Well, did anyone die?
Exactly. Did you die?
I feel like that's like when you know that somebody gets parenting, when they can be like that.
See, and the thing that I love about that, and honestly, I love that you said that, Nikki, because neither one of us are actually parents, but we still know parenting. Because it takes
we had parents.
It takes a village out here.
I'm the oldest.
Are you the oldest of your siblings?
Oldest daughter.
Oh, damn. Okay, that's the vibe.
Are you the oldest too?
Yes.
So we all have oldest daughter
mom,
syndrome.
Both my mom and my father's kids. I am the oldest. My dad's nickname for me. My dad, of course, West Indian dad. He has nicknames for all of us. My nickname is Firstborn.
Oh,
which I kind of dig.
I would too.
I kind of dig that. Anytime, like I walk in the room if I'm visiting, or he calls me on the phone, "Firstborn, is how you doing?"
Wait. Could you highlight Bad Wolf? Have you guys watched Krampus?
I haven't. I'm scared.
I
haven't watched it either, but I wanted to.
You know what? Okay, random
is it on
sidebar.
Tubi?
Hold on, random sidebar about the Krampus character and just that character's lore.
Sure.
If you've never watched Grimm, please go watch Grimm. More specifically, let me shout out my homegirl, my streaming partner, Meeks, Manic Meeks. Y'all know her because she been hanging with me for since Lovecraft Country. We've been on these YouTube streets doing streams, discussions together. Go check out her her watch throughs of Grimm, and you'll have a good damn time. The way she phrases things, like if you're used to my vernacular and how me and my cousins say things in the background when they're on my streams, you'll love Meeks, guaranteed. And Krampus is a character that appears in Grimm. Okay,
interesting. I grew up knowing Krampus because it's like December 6th is Saint Nicolaus Day. But
I was gonna say, that's
Saint
very
Nicolaus,
tied into German
get
culture.
Krampus.
Yeah, Krampus.
You don't want him.
I do remember how that is pronounced in German, because that's one figure that all of my exchange friends would always talk about.
Can you please highlight Imagination Realm again?
Yes.
Toxic Trash, you told kids for years that aliens were going to come back and pick him. Wait, come back to pick him up?
Amazing.
Again, let me say,
A+ parenting.
That is a Guyanese West Indian.
Brava.
Right there.
Brava.
I'm raising my glass to you.
I love that so much, and we are so off rails right now.
I know. We should probably wrap up. We just
and I love
absolutely.
it. I'm sorry.
I mean, we got through the whole
y'all.
movie pretty much.
Well, let's get to the ending. Let's finish up. We were right there.
Sure.
You know, they're coming in to rescue Joey. He didn't have the full magical Negro effect, but he did come in to save the day. You know, when everything really kicked off, Nancy had to try to run down and get Joey because Freddy was letting loose his the tongues, and he was going to sink into the fire. And Nancy almost fell, but Kincaid came in, held the road, held the tube, so she can get down there. Why they didn't have Kristen run down like right after her to get over there at the same time didn't make sense.
Do backflips.
But yeah, apparently, you know, the backflip, that
ninja as her superpower.
Right. That was the introduction to parkour. Right there.
Parkour.
that was the early 80s parkour. So she came in with the backflips and the kicks and whatnots that was needed. And the one thing that really pissed me off about that, though, and it happens in a lot of those early horror movies that we watch, is why do y'all only hit the bad guy once and then stand back to wait and see what happens?
And to watch it, to sit there watching it.
And keep hitting him. You picked up this thing, you bashed him on the back of his neck. He went down. Keep hitting him. He's been fucking with y'all for years.
Exactly.
And also, you know, my other thing.
It's a crime of passion. Hit him.
Bash his head in.
I feel like I say this in a lot of different situations, but jump him.
Why are we going at him one at a
Jump
time?
him.
Why are we going at him one at a time? It's 5 of y'all.
Listen, no
y'all
ring.
got Joey free. Joey
No
has
ring.
his voice now.
No ring, no rules.
Just
jump him. Jump
everybody
him.
go in and hit that just like they did. You
Get
know what?
Weapons.
The one team that actually did it correctly at the end was the team that came through in It. Once they were adults and they came back and they had to fight the Pennywise in the sewer, when it was in spider form, they all came in. They're no holds barred.
Jump him.
Everybody came in. You jump him and be done.
Hashtag jump him. That should change my @ name to just jump him.
You really should.
I have too many Facebook strikes, so I can't do it on Facebook.
What Facebook stay putting your ass in jail? Apparently,
I know. I posted a
I hear those stories all the time.
I posted a bunch of penises with like the strawberry tops on them and some seedless strawberries. It was funny.
I mean, okay, but it's Facebook though.
And then I posted I was like, having been married for all these years, I can tell you how to keep a man, kidnap him. And Facebook, that's when they restricted my account now.
Yeah. I try to make it flashy.
It was a joke.
I'm gonna send you a friend request on Facebook. I don't think I have you on there.
You don't. It's actually really. Are you friends with Nikki already? Because if we don't have a friend, okay, then you'll be able to find me. I'm like so hidden.
Yeah.
So she incognito out there.
I am.
You have to be
hidden.
Oh no, yeah. I get it.
Like the fact that my real name is on here, it all makes me go,
I have my real name and my maiden name, but like, you can't find me unless we have a mutual friend.
Yeah.
And even if you find me, you can't add me if we don't have a mutual friend or message.
That's how mine is too.
Yeah. So, but since you have Nikki, you'll be able to find me.
I think that's how mine is, but I'm honestly not sure. I do need to take a look at that. Y'all pay attention to your privacy settings.
Yes, please.
Folks be out here on some bullshit sometimes. Do pay attention. There's a reason that a lot of folks like their anonymity, and I am also in that camp. So protect yourselves when you can. But the end of this final battle, unfortunately, my lady Nancy, she sacrifices herself at the end.
I always forget that she dies at the end of this movie.
I didn't always surprise until the funeral.
I totally forgot. I was like, oh wait, fuck, she did die in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
I always
because I always remember like the last movie I always think about with her in it was
New Nightmare. Yeah.
And that's because it wasn't just like her Nancy character, but it was actually her, the actress. Right. In that was in that role. So I considered that she had survived, but she didn't.
Nope.
No, Nancy, we lost 3 people in that whole thing. Taryn didn't make it out. Will did not make it out. And Nancy was the final.
And Phil too.
To get everyone out. Yeah. Yeah. They all. No, Philip was the first one.
Yeah, he was
the kicker, the sleepwalker.
Right. Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the final fight. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah. Philip. Well, actually,
and her dad. We lost her dad too.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. He died in that one too, which honestly, I'm sorry. He kind of deserved it, bruh. You knew
he was so useless.
How long have you been fighting this dude, drowning your sorrows? You're on duty and we found you in a bar. Okay, right. So that just shows how useless and ridiculous you were at that point in time.
I thought that the movie would have been much more interesting since he was still on duty, even if he was drinking at a bar. If when Dr. Gordon came for him, if he was like click clink, go into jail, figure it out.
Put him
that
in the
would have been amazing.
But see, he wasn't even on that. He was too much of a pussy for that. He was trying to get away the whole time, and Gordon read him right off rip. Gordon, when they got out the car, he took the keys.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing that he did, because when he came back, he was trying to get away before he found the bones. And he was looking at him like, bro, you trying to go somewhere? Huh? I got some keys. Where you gonna go?
I'm looking on Tubi for other scary movies, and I want you to know that there's a Halloween Baby Shark and Spooky Kids Songs movie. Oh. It's an hour of Halloween Baby Shark and Spooky Kids Songs.
Nope, I'm not doing that to myself.
That's a thing that exists. that I now have to hide from my
I was
children.
gonna say you can play it in their bedroom.
That's true. I could play it in their bedroom. They would actually like that.
I mean, you could, but
Not out here.
Are you still in the same place where the whatchamar thing?
The what?
We don't talk about that.
I know.
We don't
That's
say
why
her name.
I don't know. I don't know what her name is, so I don't.
Let me.
Oh.
Since we're talking spooky, last night,
Okay.
I was watching Halloween, and then I was watching something else. My cat, who is blind, starts looking around like this.
See, no,
like this,
Mm-mm.
and like swatting something or whatever, right?
Mm-mm.
And I go,
Mm-mm.
"Hey, you, what's going on? Are you okay?" And she goes down and she sniffs something in between the couch, and when she comes up, she's like this.
Nope.
And I was like,
no.
But then she was like writhing on the couch and twisting. I sent Tanya the video, and I was like, I'm so glad I have this on video because nobody would fucking believe me. And then I saged my apartment, and she went to sleep.
Nope.
Yeah.
See, that is another reason I don't
That's
have
creepy.
a pet. Because first of all, that's another mouth to feed. And I don't know. I can barely handle myself right now with my health issues. I don't need another thing to take care of right now. But then because of that, because cats and dogs literally can notice shit on another level that we cannot see as humans.
And children.
I am not for that. And see, yeah.
That's how I found about the poltergeist in my house. Did I tell you about? I went to my sock drawer to get some socks, and it was completely empty.
Yes, the evil socks, and you found them.
It was completely empty. I found them in a
yeah,
and I still have no explanation for that, and I still have a bag of socks.
Like exactly what Miss Swift said. Nope.
Yeah, I told Tanya yesterday though. I was like, I am actually glad she's here because who knows what would have happened if she wasn't here. I let her battle the evil spirits for me.
I'm saying, well, you know what they say about cats?
They see through the veil.
They see through the veil, and they are the guardians of the underworld. So they're basically the gatekeepers. That's boss' job. Like if you
what the hell do they say
read
about
American Gods, or if
Yes.
if you've watched American Gods,
I've done both.
Boss' role.
I love American Gods. The book, the
show
lost me.
The book is great. The show lost me after like season 3. Although I did go back and finish it. I did go back and finish it just because I don't like having unfinished things in my brain, just to see what was what. But yeah, the book is absolutely far superior.
Yeah, it's on my shelf.
I love it. It's so good.
It's a must read.
It is.
I started reading it and then I was like, oh, I think I got it, but I'll go back to it because I have a list of Neil Gaiman. I have a list of Neil Gaiman to get through.
I have to consume a lot of my books now by audio because I think it's probably a part of I call it like a part of my minor ADD/OCD. Like I have to be doing several things at a time sometimes. So even if I'm sitting like right here in this one chair at my computer, there still has to be things going on around me. So I need an audiobook. I need like 2 random video games that I can play up on another screen. Like I have 3 screens right now and I'm contemplating getting 2 more.
Wow.
Because of
I have
the
2
amount
screens
of
right now too, but because I like to look at things big. And Nancy Boys Imagination Room mentioned it.
I cannot wait
whenever that comes out. I'm 100% want to cover it.
So can I come to, please?
Yeah, and also
I haven't read it yet, so I need to do that.
You haven't read it yet?
It's on my Neil Gaiman list.
Nikki, get your life together.
We have a friend who streamed with us before for a Neil Gaiman book, Chasing Lux. She's a huge Neil Gaiman fan.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
She was with us for Ocean at the End of the Lane.
Ocean at the End of the Lane, yeah.
Yes, and she's a big
chat on
Neil
Twitter
Gaiman
sometimes.
fan. Oh, okay, yeah. So when we do a Nancy Boys, we'll definitely bring her in if she's down to stream with us.
Absolutely.
But Nancy Boys is absolutely one of my favorite all-time reads.
Such a good book. I think that's my favorite Neil Gaiman book. I mean, particularly because like I listened to the audiobook. So I got all
I actually have not. I wonder if the library has it. I've only read it multiple times, but I haven't listened to it.
Would you like me to send it to you?
Sure. I was just gonna see if the library had it.
I have the full performance that stars our boy Grey Worm from Game of
really?
Thrones. Yes, and he voices Fat Charlie. So
I did listen to it. Never mind. It says borrowed in 2020. So never mind. I did listen to it.
Yeah, I think Delroy Lindo is actually who is going to be playing Anansi.
Anansi, yes. And I love Delroy Lindo.
First of all, let me just say that is how you know where exactly in the world where that man is from, because Delroy is such a damn West Indian name.
No, before I even knew anything about him, I saw Delroy and Lindo, and I said, I just know he's Jamaican. Both of those names. The only thing more Jamaican would it be if his name was Delroy Gordon. Like, I was like, Delroy and Lindo. I was like, okay.
The facts.
Queen of the Damned review. I have not.
I haven't.
Queen of the Damned in a long time. Peter
Griffin.
Oh.
But I am watching a new Interview with the Vampire.
Are you guys watching? Are you watching that?
I am.
I haven't started it yet.
Please,
it's on my list.
Wait,
hold on. What is it on? What platform is it on?
I'm watching it on not Tubi, one of the other ones.
Pluto.
Sling.
Oh,
I'm watching on Sling.
Fuck. I don't have Sling.
Well, Sling is free. Sling is free, so you can watch it. We're talking. So the movie. I think, as you said, it's on.
The movie's on Tubi.
The show is on AMC. But if you want to watch it for free without getting the AMC Plus subscription, it's on Sling.
I might. Well, I have a allegedly a very decent torrent to connect. So.
Well, get that.
It's
beautiful.
Allegedly.
Like just the filming of it is beautiful.
I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Yeah.
So I'm very interested. And Anne Rice really is just, when it comes to vampire lore, she's one of the map makers for that. So I'm
gonna be honest. I've never hugely been into vampires.
I know.
I know it's Nikki's.
That makes me sad too.
But it makes me sad. But then I understand.
Okay, hold on.
Vampires come and go.
Can I ask a question? And I because I know how you feel about the random monster verse, Tanya. I guess it's more towards Nikki. Underworld.
I haven't watched Underworld.
How did you feel that? It doesn't surprise me that you haven't watched Underworld, but Tanya, watch Underworld.
Wait, are we talking about the show or the movie? Because wasn't there a show too? Did they do a show of Underworld? Okay, the first movie
just
I
the
liked.
Movies.
The first movie I liked.
Okay.
The second
one was for me too.
Yeah, and I think the second one was so that I didn't watch the third one. But if I should watch the third one, then I will.
I would beseech you.
Okay.
To watch the rest of the series, and if you want to talk about it, I would absolutely love to delve into that lore, because it's very fascinating. That economy that they put up with Underworld, and how that whole world was built. Back from, it always seems that there've been that war between the werewolves and vampires.
Right.
We never really knew why, but for that series, they gave a real reason why.
Right.
It happened, and why things went so left when it came to the power dynamics on both sides. So I could get into that. It worked. The lore of it is what drew me in.
Right.
So it gets extra. The last couple movies are not as strong as the first two, but they're still watchable. I'll say that. Okay. Kate Beckinsale is really good throughout the whole series. I'll say that.
I'll check it out. It's like, vampires come in and out of style, like every however many years, like they're in style. And I really like Interview with the Vampire. Like, I love Vampire Diaries. I love Vampire Diaries. I love it so much that I can't watch it. I love it so much that I can't watch it, because if I start one, then I'm going to be like 18 episodes in and forget where my life went. So I can't do Vampire Diaries.
So my only beef with the Vampire Diaries is there's too many of them. And when I first started watching, I did not want to continue the teeny bopper angst soap opera. However, because of my my Auntie Debbie, and whose house I'm usually at when the antics happen in the background. Hi Brian.
You just got a hello from AK. She's also looking in the market for a theme song.
Oh, okay.
Please, and thank you.
So yeah, let her know.
But yeah,
or let me know, and I'll let her know.
Because of my Auntie Debbie and my Auntie Imelda, actually, I got into the originals, which I really loved, especially when it came to the character of Freya and Keelan. And of course, and I'll let my rainbow flag fly because, Keelan and freaking Freya were a great damn relationship, and they should have had their own damn spin-off show.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, out of all the couples that they brought up in that whole pantheon of shows, all three of them, they were the two that were actually the most real. So
I really enjoyed.
I want to see more of them.
I like the originals, and similar to Imagination Realm, I liked it. It wasn't as consuming for me as Vampire Diaries. Sometimes it got a little bit tedious, but
we hear you, sir. We hear you.
What's up, fellow nerds?
I've officially had a Brian appearance on my stream. I'm checking that off on my bingo.
Yeah, I'll put his IG in the chat too.
Yes, please do.
Oh, I got you.
Y'all go follow that.
So you got it, Nikki?
Best DJ
it's
just
in the taking me forever to type with these nails.
Oh, girl, same.
Wait,
I'm useless.
Didn't you say you lost like two of them on the last?
I did, but I replaced them because they were here. Oh wait, that's right. Yeah,
yes, absolutely.
I'm excited
about the homie.
I'm excited about Interview the Vampire because I did not like Twilight.
Real quick,
can we talk about how much I almost liked but then didn't like the whole series of Twilight?
I haven't watched it, but quick aside, Radar Ellis will be at the Blue Note this Wednesday night. At what time?
First set's at 8, I believe.
First set's at 8:00, and it's a tribute to our good friend Megan Stabile.
Oh,
Megan.
Yeah, big band with Robert Glasper.
The big band, the revived big band with Robert Glasper, and also featuring DJ Radar Ellis.
Nice, if y'all are in town, go check. If
you're in New York City, go to Blue Note Wednesday night. I
Absolutely.
might be there.
There's an awesome place out here in Columbus that was called the Blue Danube that closed down recently. That it reminds me of that. Makes me sad.
Aw.
It was a cool little spot. They had great food. Like y'all know I love breakfast. Well, you two might not know, but everybody in the chat, I love breakfast. And they had great breakfast. And
I was actually just thinking about making scrambled eggs. All this wine has.
I want waffles.
Ooh, do you want to make waffles? Do you still want to come over because we can make waffles?
Oh no, I have to edit. I should do that opera. I need money. I want to get paid because I'm going to New Orleans. Ha ha ha.
So I was gonna say we can make waffles and we can finally make our s'more treats.
Maybe tomorrow. If I do it tonight, then I can come tomorrow.
Huh? Okay. You can edit here. He said if we make the s'more treats, save him one. You can edit here.
You're absolutely right.
I'm gonna play with your children.
Oh. I was gonna say I'll entertain them while you edit, just so you can hang out.
I'll do it here. This opera is only an hour and a half, so I'll be able to get through that pretty quickly.
I am very curious to know about this opera that you're editing. Also,
I am editing an opera called tonight called Peleus, and it's Greek mythology. It's cool. It's cool, but the one I edited last night was called Juana, and it was about a nun during the Spanish Inquisition who was an intellectual and persecuted for that because she also had a love affair with the viceroy's wife.
Of course, because
women
cannot live in those days and times.
No, basically because they're persecuting her for having an original thought in her head, but that opera was very well done.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Where is that opera going to be the final product going to be presented?
I would
like to hear that. Please do.
Yeah. It was great. It was great. I'll send that to you offline.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Please do. Yeah, I'm very much a thespian. I
really enjoyed.
So I am so shut up. I love the theater.
Somebody send me wine. I'm out.
Oh.
If I could, I would. I'm so sorry. Actually, wait. DoorDash is a thing.
And I have a sprained ankle. I can't go get it myself.
Oh, I know.
What did you do to your ankle?
I saved a puppy. I wasn't joking.
Oh yeah. I forgot.
That was a real life event.
I wonder if I still have your address in Minibar.
I hope so.
But they have a minimum. That's what's annoying.
Well,
I know.
Well, I'll drink it all.
I don't even know if I can make orders over.
Yeah, no, I can't. Twilight
I
feel like overrated. But you know what I will say about Twilight? I read the first book and I enjoyed it a little. I read it all the way through, but it wasn't enough for me to continue. I was like, okay, this is cool. I was like,
okay. So
but if you want a great vampire book, Forever and the Night by Linda Lyle Miller. Good luck finding it. It's hard to track down, but it might be one of my most favorite vampire stories ever because she gets vampire lore, and it was very original in a way that I hadn't seen before.
Okay. See, when it comes to Twilight, I never read the books, but I did watch one of my favorite reviewers for books, especially for books compared to the movies or TV shows that may come from them, is Dom Noble. And he has a series called Lost in Adaptation. And he went through the full pantheon of Twilight. And also, what is my boy's name? Hold on. I think it's Crimson Rogue. Let me make sure I'm saying that correctly. But they both, Crimson Rogue. They both did just their own opinions and whatnots on what was lost that was written in the books to the screen, and also just how freaking terrible this whole situation of these damn Twilight characters were. Like, Tanya, never pick up those books. If you haven't read them, never pick it up. You will not like them at all. I know how you feel about romance in these novels.
Know. And I'm such a hater when it comes to love. Can you highlight imagination?
I knew that's what you're looking at.
Look,
I have read Marlon James' Black Leopard, Red Wolf. However, to me, first of all, it's not the Black Game of Thrones, and marketing it that way was an absolute mistake. It has absolutely no similarities with Game of Thrones, and it really annoyed me that they marketed it that way because the writer himself did not market it that way. The book, I think when I read it, I wasn't really enjoying it. It kind of felt like I was in a fever dream, but I'm actually willing to reread it. This because I feel like maybe the second time around I'll just understand it better. But it has absolutely nothing in common with Game of Thrones, and them trying to market it that way was not the author at all. It was his publisher. Sucks. And anybody who goes into it expecting Game of Thrones is going to be so disappointed. It's more so like African lore and stories told from different perspectives.
Why not build it off of that?
Yeah,
I don't know. Well, because Game of Thrones, when it came out, Game of Thrones is what was popping. So, but it's not anything like Game of Thrones. But it's just not
African lore, especially when it comes to like the pantheon of Orishas, is very, very interesting for anyone that's not tapped into that form of.
And it's great that it's from African lore. It's just not. It's not Game of Thrones. And so if you come into it expecting Game of Thrones, you're going to be really disappointed. If you come into it knowing that it's African lore, then you'll like it a little bit better. For me, it wasn't connecting enough in my first read, but I'm willing to reread it because by the time I got to the end, I started to understand how it came together.
Right.
So I'm willing to reread it so that my second read is a little bit more cohesive and I kind of understand it's from the perspective of one person. And then the sequel is the same story from the perspective of a different person. And I think it's worth it for me to reread it. But while I was reading it, I wasn't really enjoying it that much because I just didn't know where it was going.
You know what I realized we need to do for book club that we talked about that we haven't yet? Children of Blood
Stormlight Archive? Oh.
Well, yes. Obviously.
Wait.
Bingo card.
It wasn't me.
Tanya mentioned Stormlight Archive.
It wasn't me. I wanted to. But Children of Blood and Bone.
Oh, yeah. We did not do that, huh?
Yeah, we should do it. It's so good.
I've actually had that waiting in my audio folder
for a
while. And that's that's what I've heard.
even though I haven't read it yet, I was thinking maybe for a January read to be The World We Make.
Oh yeah, well,
I am
we'll
so
definitely
ready
do
for
that.
that. That's already pre-ordered in my Audible.
Yeah, I pre-ordered as well, so we'll get it on
Yeah.
Tuesday.
I'm so ready for that. I'm very excited for that.
I'm gonna
Also,
angle my camera up because I'm taking my bra off. It's been a long time.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so you seen it
Oh,
here,
yeah.
y'all.
If you were
Tom-
here,
Tom-
I was trying to be decent for you guys, but
Be decent for who, girl?
I don't know. It's just
Look here, woman.
I'm just not used to having to wear one all day, and it's been like several hours.
I didn't even bother. I was like, you know what? No one can tell.
Like, no one can see my boobs.
No, okay, well, okay, so I'm the only one that has a bra on still on the stream.
Yeah, sorry, man. 3 hours is my limit, and we're about to reach it. Actually, I had it on for longer than that.
Oh yeah, you were out in the public.
Yeah, I was out.
That's right, you were. And I apologize. This stream actually did go on longer than I thought it would. I didn't plan on tying up your time.
Yeah, we were like, oh, we're gonna do it for an hour.
Yeah, but this was so fun.
It was fun. I really enjoyed it. Oh my god, the relief.
That look there. I think I posted.
That's a video that I want to make.
The relief of taking off.
Yeah, I want to do a video where it's just like zoomed in on the faces of women taking off their bras at the end of the day.
There's a GIF that I posted on Facebook a couple months ago. And I think I titled it like, actual footage of me coming home from work. And it's just like this random stick figure that comes in the house, closes the door, shirt just gets ripped off and bra comes off and titties just swinging. Because I take off my bra before I take off my shoes. Okay.
No, I feel you. Often I find my bra hanging from the chair in my doorway.
So constrictive, man. It's and I'm actually glad.
Why should I hide my pendulous breasts? Why can't you guys just deal with the fact that I got a lot of motion in this ocean?
I am very glad that I do not have the breast size of my mother and my aunts because, like,
mine are literally offensive.
I am not big at all, and I'm so glad because I do not want those big titty problems.
I would get pulled aside, like by an old lady would pull me aside and talk to me about my undergarments, and I've already had a reduction.
Yeah,
I just got more bounce to the ounce.
Yeah, some ladies are gifted. That just is how it is.
It's a gift and a curse. It's a gift and a curse. Looks great for certain clothing, and then trying to buy dresses and just live in public.
And just live in general.
What was it? I wanted to get. I forgot what it was that I wanted to get you. It was like a tank top or something. I was like, oh wait, okay.
Where was she put her tits?
I don't even know what size to get for you.
No, I bought a birthday dress and it was so cute and it had cutouts on the side and like an A-line skirt, and I bought it and then it was like, so Tanya, where are you gonna put your titties? And I had to return it.
That's just rude.
Because like my boobs pull everything, so the waist gets pulled up. So basically, the cutouts for the waist were all the way at it was giving side boob.
Empire waist unintentionally.
Yeah, everything becomes empire waist. I have to get clothes yeah. That's why I live in hoodies.
Women problems. These are the women problems that most people don't think about, and even sometimes in fashion, when folk do think about it, we still end up with pants with no fucking pockets. Look here. Can you assholes stop designing these pants with no pockets for us? For fuck's sake. We don't always like carrying big purses around, okay?
Yes. That's why I love my phone. I was like, oh, I finally have a phone that'll fit into my pocket.
Fit in my pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually put my phone in my pocket, but I also like wearing purses. But I like wearing little cute purses. But then also sometimes I carry really big purses that are kind of nice, so I can put random things in it. Like,
okay, see, you're what's randomly frustrating. Purses, though, I don't. I'm not a big purse person.
I like purses and I like backpacks and I like stuff like. But I was gonna say, what's randomly frustrating as we're talking about pockets is that they'll put them in baby clothes, but they won't put them in women's clothes.
Literally, my baby has back pockets, and I'm like, you can't. First of all,
what is the baby carrying?
You can't fit anything in this pocket. Second of all, what do you have, a wallet? A little tiny baby wallet? Why do you need pockets?
You don't pay for anything.
So absurd.
Nothing.
It's
I
so
don't think my
absurd.
kid has ever seen cash. We were actually talking about that as like this might be like a problem because I use tap to pay for almost everything. And I'm like, is he conscious of what cash is? And I'm realizing he might not be. It's like a new problem that
that's legit a concern. Like there's a few things. There's a few things that I realized recently. Well, I didn't realize, but I was told recently they don't even teach in schools anymore, like cursive. When the fuck did you assholes decide that cursive wasn't needed? People still need to sign their names on things.
And also to read old documents.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's used to just scrolling up, clicking the box, and moving on.
Oh man, you might have to give them that. Well, when he gets older, because he might go to the store and just be like, "Here's my candy bar," boop. And they'll be like, "Wait, where's the money?"
Exactly. I do tap to pay from my watch, and I don't think he has a concept of cash. And I realized it like a few months ago. I was like,
"You might have to teach
cash
that."
Is?
My nephew is all about it, but he's about to be 10, and he's
always Sean's
about,
like almost a little man grown now, isn't he?
He really is, and he has this thing he calls CHC, and we're like, "What's CHC?" He's like, "Cold hard cash." And he loves he loves his CHC, so he has the concept of it. But like younger than that, I really don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea if this is a thing for other people. It's just not something I really thought about. And then one day I was like, does he know what cash is? Because I'm like, when's the last time he saw cash? I don't pay for almost anything in cash.
That's very interesting. Yeah, like
the only thing that he's seen me pay for in cash is the ice cream truck, but the ice cream truck takes Cash App too.
Oh, Mr. Softy.
You know what? When he starts losing his teeth, just give him cash.
That's true.
Although inflation is crazy because Sean got $20 for his first tooth, and I was like, y'all gonna keep that up?
So Imagination Realm said birthday cash keeps them in the loop, but he gets he gets direct deposits to his bank account.
He got a bank account already?
Both of my kids have bank accounts.
Okay.
They have their own bank accounts, and then they both have college accounts, and people just direct deposit into them. So he doesn't even see the cash. And then other than that, people give him gift cards.
Yeah. Gift
so like birthday cash isn't even.
Right,
my dad's the only person who gives birthday cash, and we use it at the ice cream truck. But the ice cream truck takes Cash App and Venmo and Zelle.
Hey, that's because they're trying to keep up with the times, man. Why would you lose that avenue of cash flow?
Yeah, because there was one day I didn't. So when my dad gave him birthday money, he gave him $10 cash, and he used it up at the ice cream truck, and then. We went to the ice cream truck again, and I realized I didn't have any cash on me. And he had his Cash App QR code, and I just bring back the Choco Taco. I used to love Choco Taco. But yeah, I just scanned his Cash App and sent him the $3 for... Oh yeah, and ice cream is like $3 now, too.
Nope.
These cash since they legalized. Yeah, I mean, what do you use it for at this point?
Yeah. I can't even remember the last time I wrote a check for anything.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh no, me neither.
I pay everything I pay, even my rent, I pay online.
Same.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to wrap up soon. Brian's about to go out.
Yeah, for sure. Sure.
Right.
All right. So and then we got to the end. Pretty much.
Yeah, we did get to the end. We've just been shooting the shit.
What I love about horror movies from this time, and then we can wrap up after, is that I watched Halloween yesterday for the first time. I'd never seen it. I love the first one from 1970, whatever.
I think I'm gonna watch that tonight.
But what I love about these movies is that when it ends, it's like you've got that little thing, like it's not really over. The light comes on in the house, and you're like, coming back. Or in Halloween, when they look on the ground and he's gone. So yeah.
So because Nikki and I are like in the scene, couldn't tell you the last time I paid a cover charge for anything.
Me neither.
I was gonna say, y'all got y'all be on the books.
So, yeah, I'm usually on somebody's guest list.
See, if I do get back home and a weekend comes up where I'm going out, I'm making sure to find out wherever they're going. I'm like, hey, I'm tagging in.
I stay home a lot.
It's probably me going to her house.
Yeah.
But yes, that is our show for the night, though. That has been
this was fun though.
Straight Dream Warriors. Absolutely fun. I appreciate you guys coming to hang out with me. It's always a good time when 1,000 Eyes of One comes out. We whenever spooky season comes around, we call our banners and the ladies always come through. So we are here. Okay. All right, so we might if we can get our schedule synced up, we will go ahead and come through with the hocus pocus. Do you all want to do part 1 or 2 or both on the discussion?
Like both in one stream?
Yeah,
that's fine with me.
I think we can mash it together.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll try to get that hooked up for you guys. You know, either next week or the week after. It doesn't matter if it's November for me. You know, if we say it's spooky season, damn it, it's spooky season.
It's spooky season from October 1st to December 1st. It is to November 30th. It is spooky season.
The facts.
Yep.
So hopefully we'll be able to, you know.
But we hit December 1st, and it's Christmas, baby.
It's Christmas, all Christmas. Yep.
Cue Mariah, we are ready.
So I will start again, just like the other night. I have to do this collectively, but I'll start with Tanya. What do you guys have coming up next?
We just finished House of the Dragon. We're going to do a live stream soon, which will post information about as a House of the Dragon kind of recap roundup.
Mm-hmm.
And then in January, we'll do our next book club, but we haven't chosen the book for that yet.
Yeah.
Is he okay?
Oh, you hear him? Hold on, I'm going to go get him. Nikki,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, so we'll probably have a trivia in New York and Flushing at the Stonebridge, which I'm working out details now. But like Tanya said, we're still choosing our next book. We don't know what that's going to be, and we've got lots of ideas to keep talking about. You know, the world of Ice and Fire.
Can I send you a few suggestions that Audible has been throwing at me?
You can absolutely send them to me, and I will check them at the library because Audible is wild sometimes.
Dude.
I'm
Audible,
like, why is this so expensive? I'm going to use my library app.
Dude, Audible is the most accurate in the algorithms of things that I have. Like when I say I like certain things, they will toss all of the authors in that genre at me, and it's been great. Like I already had Children of Blood and Bone, though I do need to go ahead and listen to that.
Listen to it. It's good.
It's been in my library for like a couple years now and I haven't gotten to it yet.
I forgot the name of the second book, but there's 2 books, and so I'm waiting for the third one to come out because the way the second book ends, you're like, oh, I know where this is going, and it's heavy, but nice. Very, very good.
You guys
definitely
go check out Children of Blood and Bone. And if you have not checked out N.K. Jemisin yet, please look at all of her things, but more particularly check out The City We Became first, because part 2, I believe, of that is about to drop like
November 1st, I think.
Month. Yeah.
Tuesday.
Very soon. So check that out. And the ladies are probably going to talk about it on their channel.
Yeah, we definitely will.
So is that it? You guys got anything else coming up?
No, not really. We will be doing, like I said, we'll do our panel roundup because we have a few guests that we want to bring on to talk about House of the Dragon, and that should be interesting.
Tribute.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll do. I think we'll do we probably have to do like a StreamYard situation, Tanya.
Yeah,
so we can have multiple guests because.
Definitely.
Yeah,
we have to have Igmar and James
and Phase 1
and Phase and
there's a new feature. There's a new feature that came up with my minicam a couple months ago where I can do like full conferencing and all of the things that StreamYard does through minicam, and minicam allows me to have more folks on than I can with StreamYard. So I gotta test that out. StreamYard, we'll
talk after that.
Yeah. Coming up for myself, I think actually this was the last thing that I had up on my schedule because I was telling you all about that all last week on the streams that I was on. So we're here now, and this stream's over. And the long night has begun. Even with DJ and Fandom, we don't know what show we're going to be covering next. So if you have a thought on something that you would like us to chat about, jump into the comments when we're done, and I will propose it to the gentleman, and we'll see how it goes.
Nikki and I will also cover Wheel of Time when that comes back. So if you want to see our past Wheel of Time coverage, you can look at the links and you'll see our past season 1 Wheel of Time coverage.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, all of the ladies' links are already in the description, so you can find them very easily. If you are not subbed to them on YouTube yet, you can sub to them now. You can follow them on Insta, and if I remember correctly, if you are on Twitter, you are talking to Tanya. If you are on Instagram, you are talking to Nikki, and if you're on Facebook, it's a gamble. You might get either one.
Yeah.
So anyway,
exactly.
and their website address is also down there as well. So you have all of the means of communication to find these ladies. So you have no excuses now. If I come back next time and I tell y'all they covered a thing and y'all don't know about it, it's your own fault.
And when we drop our OnlyFans, we'll let you know.
You damn well better.
Still taking names. Slide in our DMs.
I don't know when Wheel of Time season 2 is coming out. They've only done
we don't have a date for that yet. I will say
I just thought of a name. I won't say it here.
Okay.
I mean,
they've only shown a teaser
like
trailer so
though.
far. They've only shown once we're not live, they've only shown a teaser trailer so far for Wheel of Time season 2. So we actually don't know when it's coming out, but when it does come out, we are on it.
I will say one bit of the
It was so obvious. I don't know why I didn't think of that before.
Oh, God damn it.
All right. So that's
I'm sorry. Okay. One bit of sad news I will say though. Henry Cavill, unfortunately, after season 3 comes out of The Witcher, will no longer be playing The Witcher.
What?
He is passing the sword on to Liam Hemsworth.
No, he doesn't have the same size thighs.
But he is going to be Superman again.
I don't care about Superman. I like The Witcher.
I like him better as The Witcher.
Me too.
I can't get into The Witcher. I tried.
It's okay. I'm into
I really
it.
wanted
That's
to
all
like
right.
it.
Tanya, me and you could talk about The Witcher. That's okay.
Yeah.
I do actually.
I like the animated one.
Heidi a lot.
The animated one I loved.
The animated one was great.
The animated was good. But yeah, y'all can go check Google and the Twitter feeds for all that. But we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. So Tanya can go do what she needs to do. Thank you again, my ladies.
Happy Halloween
for hanging with me.
Halloween.
We're gonna do some things coming up again. So just keep your notifications set. If you have not subbed and followed the ladies yet, all the links are below. You have no excuse now. Go and do that, and we'll be back here again doing something else, sometime soon. Thank you again. And even though it has nothing to do with this stream, I will still say it because I fully and firmly believe it. Always, always, always remember. Always.
Rhaenyra was right. No?
Bet on.
Okay.
And that is why you should always bet on black.
Yes.
Peace.